Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what will certainly go down as, I think, one of the more interesting shows we've ever done, because holy god dang is there wrestling news to get to.
So much
and we
wrestling
don't
news.
have
I get a good list.
we don't have enough time to get into it, but I think we're going to start with some breaking news from Fightful that Jesse and I read before we got here.
Correct.
Jesse, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Did Dwayne Johnson walk into WWE and immediately was The Rock?
No, it took a couple of years.
What did
some
Stone
booking
Cold
changes.
Steve Austin do before he was Stone Cold Steve
He was
Austin?
the ringmaster.
Okay, quick question. Did they take the ringmaster away for like 2 years and then all of a sudden, Stone Cold Steve Austin showed up?
No, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was
wasn't the
about
case.
it was about 6 to 8 months between
Yeah.
the debut of the ringmaster
Right,
and
right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right,
okay,
right,
the reason
right,
why
right.
I'm bringing that up, Jesse, is reports are that according to the quotes taken from Fightful in the AEW locker room
Right.
over there in Spot Monkey,
Right.
they don't like the fact that MJF is asking to have his contract reworked, but still wants to become a free agent at the end.
Right.
What I hear is he wants to get the money paid for what he's been doing, and they don't want to
Here's the
do it.
thing. MJF deserves a raise. So
I get Tony, wanting to say, hey,
Right.
add years if we're going to pay you more,
Right.
but to think that MJF is still getting paid the original deal that he signed when he's clearly outperformed it by a mile and a half at this point. And yes, to just get this out of the way, Tony, you're angry because he told you to go fuck yourself and he might go work with Vince. Has
Right.
nothing to do with the PR bullshit you
Right.
tried to give us.
Right.
But we're going to get that out of the way. But go ahead, Jesse.
Here's the thing. This is not going to be nice to Mr. Khan, and I don't care. You're going to lose him. Like, you're going to lose him. You're going to absolutely lose MJF.
I
You
think
might
we've
do it-
already gotten to that point.
I predicted that. I thought for sure when his contract ran out, he would probably leave in 2024. I think it might happen before then.
I think
we're looking at another Cody situation here.
yeah, no, he may just go to MJF and just buy it out.
Right. I think I really do believe
I can't.
that.
I want to point this out. Can you imagine? And I'm being serious.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine another year of this
Mm-mm.
and it getting any better?
Mm-mm.
Contract negotiations don't get better
No,
over time.
No,
they generally get worse.
They generally get worse.
Yeah.
And then so sports, because this is a sports based.
Presentation.
Well, it's just wrestling is sports.
We've renamed it, Leroy. It's now officially just all entertainment wrestling. There's no other way to go here.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's yeah.
So here's the big thing in sports. One of the really big things that contractors do is that they like to get a deal done before the guy hits free agency.
Yeah.
Because once they hit free agency, it's going to be insanely tough usually to get the deal you wanted that's more team friendly.
Yeah.
And so, strange enough, apparently Leroy's camera is stuck in the Wyvern zone here. So we're gonna have
What
him
the heck
exit and
happened there? Oh my
check this
god!
out. Yeah, his is lagging so far behind that it didn't want to catch up. If you want, I got you out the photos, so check your camera real quick. So here's the thing. The reason you re-up him now is to show that you have faith in him.
Yes.
And then it's probably more likely he stays.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to re-up him since he's clearly outperformed everything he originally was offered.
This is the part that I think a lot of people who aren't necessarily in the midst of the promotional
Try
wars
that one.
don't understand, Jesse. He was one of the original people that signed on to this project from MLW.
Correct.
He was one of the original people that did this.
Right.
He signed, yes, I believe it was a 6-figure deal, which is more than his MLW contract.
Right.
But at this point, that was 3 years ago.
Right.
I said it on the way here, and Jesse legitimately tried to figure it out. Name 10 people who should be getting paid more than MJF right now in AEW. And now, remember, there are more than 10 people getting paid more than MJF because he's
Oh, yeah.
signed stars since.
Right.
By the way, 2 of those stars who are getting paid very nicely. Oh, yeah, their next match is on Dark. Yes, folks, it's Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee on AEW Dark on YouTube versus Chaos Project. So, yeah, Tony clearly knows what he's doing booking these former
Big
cats.
step up in you guys' game, by the
Way to go,
Yeah.
boys!
Great
Just,
job,
just,
guys.
just super good. And by the way, but hey, you know what, Jesse? We did say congratulations that apparently Serpentico is still have a job.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
gotta
him.
Be honest, thought that guy was gone.
I can't believe it.
Really thought
Well,
that guy
yeah,
was-
He was supposed to be gone like what 3 months ago? Holy crap!
You should move your camera so I can see more of your face.
Move the mic, you mean?
Or the mic.
Yeah, there
One
we
of the
go.
two,
Okay.
because all I'm seeing is
There we go.
it's not that I don't want to see your face,
That's
Jesse.
There we go.
But
There we
There we go.
But Jesse, this is not going to get better.
No, this is gonna get.
And
worse.
by the way, here's a quick note to all the
Way
talent
worse.
in that locker room. I don't care if I'm not in a professional wrestling locker
Yeah.
room. Stop acting like this isn't how it's been done since the dawn of time, and just be happy that, I hate to say it, but half of you are getting paid way more than you probably should from a major I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say don't come on the show. Yell at me on the show, I don't
Right,
care. But
right.
Jesse, can we just be on? This is the problem, is that you and I said this at lunch before the show.
Right.
Folks, hate Vince McMahon all you want, but he cares, and I believe he always has a plan for somebody,
Right.
but he just sees you for what you are.
Right.
The Bucks are the guys who saw themselves for what they wanted to be. But
Right.
Jesse, I said it to you and I'll say it again. Leroy, I'll say it to you too. Vince
Oh, yeah.
McMahon probably looked at Cesaro as a good talent, but he didn't see him as a taker.
Right.
He doesn't see everyone as Hogan or Andre. He sees you for what you are. Rey Mysterio was a guy who was about getting sympathy. He was a cartoon character for the kids.
Right.
I'll give him a world title shot because right now he's the hottest thing in wrestling because of Eddie passing away.
Right.
And obviously Chavo, I think at the time, wasn't he like hurt or something, Jesse? He wasn't really able to
Something
come
like
back.
that.
And if I remember,
I
correctly,
believe
some-
it was,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
something involving Chavo's health that I remember. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but we'll check on that later.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm sorry that Vince McMahon always has a plan. He just doesn't always see you as a Roman. He doesn't always see. And by the way, for those who are like, well, he sees Roman because of his family. That guy's performing regardless of what his name is.
Right.
Okay? He turns in performance after performance regardless
Well,
of what his name is.
All in
Right.
all through history, wasn't their family good?
Well, the Fatus and the Inois always
They've
showed up
been
and showed
so
out. So there's a
talented from when they started.
But that's
till
my
now.
point. Is that Leroy?
Right.
Leroy,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you all think you can be the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. You're not going to be.
Shit.
So you're mad that a guy who clearly should be a world champion at least twice over by now in 3
Right.
years, you're mad that guy's going to get re-upped and, that's a bad precedent. You guys, you're not worth MJF money. Welcome to business.
I think either any of the three of us would be a better AEW champion right now.
Well, but obviously, but that's neither here nor there.
I was gonna say
That's
that's
neither here nor
pretty
there.
not far reaching right there. I ain't
No,
gonna
it
lie.
ain't. You
But
know?
I'm serious. but guys, I'm serious.
It's like taking Peyton Manning at the top of the pick. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's-
Well, yeah.
it should be pretty damn easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Cough, cough, Chargers.
But that was Eli, actually.
Yeah.
That was Eli.
Well, they did it. I think they also did it with him and Ryan Leaf too.
Yeah, no, that's true. But that's my point, is that, Jesse, this locker room needs to shut up to a point. If Daniel Bryan and CM Punk say something, or if John Moxley said something, okay,
Right.
I've got no leg to stand on. But I'm sorry, the Dark Order's about to say something? They ain't worth this kind of money, and they're on the outs according to you anyway in AEW.
It looks like they're on their way out, unfortunately.
They're done, is it? Basically, according to everything else, they're out. Stu's gone.
It feels like the passing of Brody Lee was kind of the death of that group. And then they tried to, they were trying to do kind of a babyface deal with it by having Adam Page, but they've never correlated the two at all to make it feel like it works.
Which is weird because Punk beats up Adam Silver, and then Punk goes, I beat up your boy.
John, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry, John
He
Silver.
definitely did not beat up the NBA commissioner.
Who knows? They're fighting for TV
There's-
spots.
There's somebody who might enjoy that if
Yeah.
that happens.
NBA Twitter might actually watch the show.
It might
They
blow
might
up.
actually like AEW.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so he beats up John Silver and says, "I beat up your boy," but they're not really boys.
No, not really.
This is as bad as the baddie section shit.
Don't get me started on that.
I think I have to at some point because they did an interview recently where now it's like Red Velvet's gonna win the Owen Hart tournament, and
No,
I'm looking
she's
at
not.
and I'm looking at myself like, number one, we all know she's not. It's probably gonna be whoever the Joker is because that's how Tony books this
I'm
shit.
about to say that's how he books it.
And number two, oh, by the way,
Yeah, that was.
Jesse, quick
Yeah.
question because this is the one thing that I skipped through when I watched AEW.
right.
Is Chris Statlander like an alien again? Are we just back to her being the alien again?
You know what? Let's just go into AEW.
Can we just get this over with before we do that, Jesse? So this contract situation, you have him out before 2024.
Before I talk about this, I can't actually show the product, but this.
Why can't you
You know,
show
I
the
am going to
product?
show the product.
Screw that. You can show the product.
Thank you, Stone Cold.
And you're welcome too.
Oh, thank you, Leroy.
Because I got this one too.
Because
I gotta drive Jesse's black
That's
ass
some-
home. So
That's some good damn beer.
Thankfully, you're driving. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That's some good shit.
The booking on this whole baddie section thing is so bad. It's so ridiculous, Leroy, because there really was absolutely no transition, by the way, to this. It was just they showed up one week in the crowd, right? They just showed up
Yeah.
in the crowd and and they're just in her faction now. So Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet, who had been feuding with Jay Cargill, we never got an ending to those feuds. All of a sudden, are just straight up like they're just there now. I just
Well, yeah. There's no point to that.
it was so bad. Even like I said before, JR was just like, I don't think we're going to find out the reason why they're in the baddie section, and we never have.
No, and if they're gonna do something like that, I mean, take somebody off TV
Right.
for 6 months, 3-4 months, whatever,
Right.
and like crack a cold one, like Jesse's doing, and then come back because then it could work.
Right.
But with them doing like that, I mean, what the hell? AEW
There's literally
perplexes me
because
a
there's
lot.
sometimes there's some good things on the show which we'll get to, guys. But it's these kind of deals that make you go, Tony, you have Jerry Lynn there, Serena Deeb, Arn Anderson, who you got doing nothing since Cody left.
Oh yeah.
You got Dustin there. There are people there capable of helping you book, and that's awesome news. That you could book this show way better than you do on a week-to-week basis. And I get it. You are the billionaire that owns the company, so you should get final decision. I have no problem with that. But you got to listen to some of the people you got there, because clearly you're not. Because
Is he even asking questions? That's the thing I don't understand. Because Jesse, 90% of why
question.
Vince hired the guys that he did was because they were gonna do something.
They were going to go to him in the back. They're going to be like,
They
hey.
added legitimacy to look.
Right.
Look. Even though Vince never wanted to be a wrestling company,
Right.
this is wrestling entertainment, and he knows what he's doing.
Right.
You still bring in people that have a name
Right.
to help make this seem legit. If
Right.
anything, people like Pat Patterson gave Vince clout in the San Francisco area.
Right.
It made them think, okay, it's not California
Right.
wrestling,
Right.
but it's wrestling because Pat Patterson's there.
Right.
Vince is not stupid to just let Pat Patterson not do something.
Right.
And that's what Tony doesn't get. And, it's like we have to get into the four pillars because that argument's been rehashed recently. But
Are there 4 pillars?
Well, one of them's kind of rickety right now, and we'll explain later in this episode because we haven't even gotten to the thing that shocked us all in the moment. But then 5 minutes later, we were like, "Wait, what the fuck was that?"
You know, it's
Oh,
okay.
was that the ladder?
That we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Jesse's got the results. We'll get to it.
I've always said I don't care if you're like when you're a wrestling company, you talk about the foundational people in your company.
Put them on a shirt. No one cares.
Right. Like,
And they did print that shirt, by the way. Someone's wearing that shirt somewhere.
many of the people are wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
Here's the problem when you say they're the pillars. They should feel more important. So when you heard the Attitude Era and the pillars are Rock, Stone Cold, Taker, and, most people would say Triple H, but it filtered in and out.
Yeah.
But I would say it was Triple H because at that point Shawn Michaels was getting ready to kind of leave for a while the wrestling business.
Yeah.
It made sense to call them kind of foundational people because that's who Vince built his show around was those four guys. And then it transitioned out from Rock and Stone Cold to Cena, Undertaker.
Oh, by the
Triple
way,
H.
by the way, congratulations to AJ Styles for now having an official longer run than Rock ever did. I don't think Jesse ever saw that coming.
So when I
years
saw
ago.
that pop up this weekend on wrestling Twitter and throughout the wrestling world, I was actually shocked at that. It did not dawn on me that he's actually been there longer full time, AJ Styles, than The Rock's full time.
And by the way, remember, AJ said
that did
5 years
surprise me.
ago.
Yeah.
AJ said 5 years ago that he was going to be 40,
Mm-hmm.
so that he was out of this around 40. He's
Right.
45 now, and he doesn't look like he's aged a day.
Right. No, he
His
looks
hair got
great.
longer, but he hasn't aged a day.
He looks phenomenal. I mean, he is the phenomenal one, but
Well, yeah.
I just
You
I
had to
don't understand.
he got some nectar from like R-Truth or something.
No. AJ Styles has just been gifted by the wrestling gods to just forever
yeah,
be
that
in
too.
shape. Well, and also to be fair, if I remember in the old TNA days, Jesse, I remember hearing AJ took it seriously back then, staying in shape,
yeah.
training, making sure he
Always.
was ready to go.
Always.
He was always ready to go. Dixie just had no idea how to do it
Well, that's because
until they found an intern that was 5 months pregnant.
let's be clear.
We're not going to talk about that right now. no.
She
We did that last week.
She is one of the dumbest billionaire princesses I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But with that said,
Yep. Back to this.
let me grab the results.
I've got him.
I've
I've got him. Jeff. Nope. Forbes is off a few weeks here. Daniel Forbes. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
There we go.
Jesse. Just FYI, the ratings I think are in as well.
Okay.
Let's take a look here.
Did they hit 800,000?
If I remember correctly, this week was a down week for them. If I remember correctly.
Right.
Anyway, we'll get to the results here. Medium. Okay. Anyway,
Don't mind that you hear that right
nope.
now. It'll be muted in a second.
Adam Cole versus Dax Hardwood. Well, it didn't matter who won this because Jesse, it's two former WWE guys going to the next round. I mean, it really didn't,
Oh, yeah.
really didn't matter who won.
Oh, I got it up.
Just use my phone. It might actually help you
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Because for some reason your camera's lagging. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
why is my camera lagging?
I don't know.
Who knows? But anyway,
It
so
shouldn't.
so that first match.
Cole beat him with the sharpshooter.
Listen, Dax Harwood and Cash have been on a hell of a tear these
They
last
have.
5 months.
They have, yes.
Getting to show that they are two of the absolute best in the game.
They are.
My only concern with you keep rehashing old Bret Hart matches, and this one was clearly Bret and Shawn,
Yeah.
is at some point
You become parodies of them.
yeah,
You become parodies of
It's
the
not
greats.
there yet. This was awesome.
Yes.
But
It's also awesome because
careful.
It's also awesome because there's been so little actual wrestling in all elite wrestling that when you see it, it's an anomaly.
I'm not willing to go that far, but I get when people do feel that way.
But yeah,
Is it running better now?
A little bit.
there we go.
A
All right.
little
I-
bit.
Okay.
I
anyway,
Change
Cole,
the resolution down.
So anyway,
maybe that'll help
Cole
out.
won. So once again, a former WWE
Be another WWE guy.
is going to the next round.
How many WWE guys are making it to the next round so far?
All of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
The only person.
That
The
is
only
Andy-
person.
You should have known better.
Well, I was hoping. I know. I'm grasping. I have a lot of faith.
You know what? Listen, man.
I was hoping some AEW guy would
what
make
I've
it.
always appreciated about you, you're going to come in and
Oh
come
my
out
God!
real
It
quick.
disappeared.
Because I'm gonna put you back in. But what you need to understand, Leroy,
Yes.
is that just because you are a good man of faith and a good man, just a good man in general,
Well, thank you.
does
Thank you.
not
Appreciate
mean that you should give hope to where hope does not breed credence.
No.
Well, I
But
try.
I'm sure that's somewhere in the texture. I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a while since I've been to church.
Leroy,
Again.
to bring you up to
Yes.
speed, as of right now, the only person who is not officially a former WWE
Officially.
talent is the Joker card, who's probably going to win the whole thing anyway, and it's probably a former WWE talent
Correct.
that Tony's been trying to sign for the longest time because Daddy had to get the check cleared in the state of Florida. Very difficult right now because the property taxes are about to go up because of that idiot governor they got over there. That ain't political. That's just fact. Good luck.
Well,
you,
and
you
it's
pissed at Disney for doing the right thing and realize you got to pay off their debt, you moron.
Right.
There's a possibility it's going to be the Swiss Superman. That's a rumor.
Which, by the way, I'm cool with, but it's like, dude, this tournament was supposed to be about like.
Oh, that's delicious.
You got a little bit of head on there.
Oh
man.
my
Jeez.
God! What
So
are we doing?
If it is Claudio, here's
Yes.
the problem. If it is Claudio,
Has he
right?
been going by Claudio since he left?
It is Claudio
It is
again.
Claudio. Okay.
Because that's what everyone remembers him as. I mean,
Yeah.
Here's my big thing on that. If it is Claudio,
Yes.
you should have just brought him in as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because your fans already think he's coming anyway.
Yeah.
So like,
Are they going to pay the bill? I mean,
Oh, they'll pay him.
I know Tony's an
Tony
idiot.
Khan is the worst negotiator in the world because whatever Vince offered you, he just ups it. He doesn't look at your actual value. He doesn't look at what you can bring him. He just ups it. This
is
is
factual.
this is.
This is factual.
I can't believe.
Maybe we should try to get a job there.
Hold on.
Until Vince is paying us this much, and we'll get a job.
Jesse's
Shit.
gonna hate that I bring this up, but it's gonna be relevant.
be.
When Chris Jericho walked into Eric Bischoff's office and said, "I want 100,000 guaranteed," and Eric said, "Okay," and Jericho walked out and said, "Man, I should have tried for 250,000 because they were just giving it away at that point."
Right.
That's what Tony's doing. You walk in, you basically throw a number down, he pays it.
Right.
Do you honestly think that Tony Khan has, quote, negotiated with anyone?
No.
He's just writing the check.
You just walk in, a little bag,
This is the easiest shit in the world.
They haven't really even hit the green yet.
little bag with a little powder. Hey, can I get 500 million?
Dude,
Yeah. Okay.
They literally still can't get that fucking video game off the ground.
There's also issues between them and Ukes.
Yeah.
Because apparently they don't like working with Kenny.
Yeah.
It's like Kenny
is the issue.
Kenny, just because you've played video games doesn't mean that you should be the guy in charge of this.
Right.
Ukes has been doing this for a while.
Made some of WWE's better video games. In the
They
past.
did. Jack and Daxter was a roaring success when it came out.
Remember, they made the original, WWE Raw versus SmackDown 2007.
They did, yeah.
Which is one of the best wrestling games of all time.
So,
But it's like, yeah,
Oh.
if you're having issues with
oh
They're
my
incredibly
God.
Kenny.
What are we
Kenny,
doing?
shut the hell up. Get away from there. Go play with yourself and your video games, and let them finish.
Go do rehab. Seriously. Just
I think the beer cup has more head than I've ever gotten. Here's the thing.
fair enough.
You poured wrong.
Probably, but here's the thing.
I don't think he was caring about the poor. He was caring about getting.
I really wanted
You
to
just
get that
cared
joke
about
about the head out there.
Yeah, no. It's fine.
Good head.
Here's the big thing.
Where's my girlfriend?
I have.
This is a
You're welcome.
This is YouTube.
Well, I didn't say anything
I mean,
bad.
listen. I could chisel Adonis this thing and go live on Pornhub if we want to.
That's fair.
Here's the thing.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
That's fair. That's fair.
We couldn't post that on Facebook then.
No. We
I
couldn't.
mean, you could.
apparently, according to Elon, we'll be able to post it on Twitter eventually.
I mean,
Holy crap!
If you really wanted to pour something from Pornhub on the Facebook, you can.
there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't look good to the family.
It also gets you banned at some point when
Yeah.
someone reports it. But
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Facebook-
the integration, if you've ever been on Pornhub, it allows you to share to Facebook.
Yeah, no.
It
I
really?
find that fucking great. Yeah.
There's a button right there.
There's
for
a
it.
button right there. You just
Yeah,
share
no,
it.
it's not an issue at all.
I did not know
So
that.
yeah,
Of course you didn't.
You're banging the girlfriend. You put it
I'm-
on Pornhub. You want to share it with the world. I mean, they're more than happy to let you post.
You know,
There's nothing saying you can't.
it. Right?
nobody wants to see that.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying
You're
I
right.
want to see it.
No,
You're
no,
absolutely
no,
right.
Yeah,
no,
you're
I-
100% right.
No.
You are.
Where were we?
You are 1,000% right, sir.
Where were we?
Let's get off of that.
So let's get off of the head thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I just what I do
Al
not.
Snow getting more time on our show than
Yeah.
he has in the last
What
few
do we
years.
want?
Like I said, what I don't understand when it comes
Yeah.
to with Tony Khan also is you want to continue to stay over 1 million, which by the way they have not done yet.
Nope.
What were they this week? 884, I believe.
Yeah, they didn't crack 9.
They didn't crack 9.
That's what I was guessing. 800,000. Yeah.
No, they didn't crack 9. Which
Fucking Rampage can barely get over 250 now.
Dude, that number, people don't. Okay, if you want to, we're just gonna knock that out. Okay, checklist, we'll knock that off. Leroy, they
Yes.
didn't hit 300,000 on a Friday night. Now, yes, whatever. Give me this bullshit that it's 5:30 in the afternoon. You're supposed to be diehards.
Right.
Are you kidding me? 250,000 people.
At 5:30. I thought it was at 10 o'clock.
They had to move it up because of the
They
playoffs.
got bumped. They got bumped because of the playoffs. Because remember, their fans are the only ones in the world that are like, they moved WWE for a dog show. Yeah, and they're moving you for the playoffs. Shut up.
They moved.
So-
They moved. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. They moved WWE for a dog show, right? But they just moved them to a different network every time.
Yeah,
They didn't actually like.
the
Same
time
time.
slot doesn't
The
change.
time slot never
The
changes.
day doesn't. Monday Night Raw wasn't on a Tuesday all of
Right.
a sudden,
It was just you have to now go find it on Sci-Fi
Yeah.
or something. But like,
and the ratings were still better than you've ever done. But no, folks, you guys can't crack 300,000 people at 5:30 in the afternoon. I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but I didn't. But last I checked, the average AEW audience is not working a 9 to 6. So I'm pretty sure y'all were home.
No. Yeah, everybody was home having dinner. Well,
That's
maybe
my day off.
maybe that's why they didn't watch, because they want to keep their food down.
No, the diehards can apparently eat through the frickin' chicken biting off the head thing at the circus that GM always uses the joke as. But
Oh well. See,
there is a
Something
section,
like that.
There is a section of
I can do
audience,
that
and
too.
Jesse has had to really eat crow on this. There is actually a section of the audience. If they shit in the middle of the ring, some AEW contingency is going to be like, well, there was a reason for it. I'll be like, there's no reason to shit in the middle of the ring.
guys,
Well,
it could. Be
Andre
worse than
did that, but he had an upset stomach.
Well, to be fair, Tony's put a lot of weird celebrities on there. Hey, if you're going to get Paige Van Zandt, get Amber Heard. Anyway.
Oh my! No.
That's a great idea.
There you go.
No.
She needs some time on
I
television.
mean, listen, she's such a train wreck. The entertainment value alone brings in millions of people who just want to see her lose.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, if you're gonna spend
Well,
$1 million
Hey.
on a useless blonde, I mean,
And Amber's going to need that money back after paying this lawyer that's useless for her.
who's gonna lose her this fucking case?
Exactly.
So I mean,
Speaking of useless blondes, Jesse, guess what came out in the PWL and they finally saw it?
what's that?
Was that wonderful AEW Dark botch by Ty Conti
Oh, my
almost
God.
killing somebody on Dark.
Oh, was that where she put on the top rope and jumped on top
And
of
instead
her?
of kicking her in the chest like, Shinsuke does, she's just like, I'm going to have my full body weight crack the goddamn spine of this person.
That was Fallon Henley, by the way.
It was! Who, by the way, is now succeeding in NXT 2.0.
Yeah. So
I was really wondering about that spot.
Yeah.
That doesn't look very safe.
So that was during the
Did
pandemic.
somebody die?
That was right as they're coming out the pandemic, and they were just doing most of their shows in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And WWE still doing most of theirs. in
Daly's
Orlando.
Place. Is what it was. Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
And-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
Daly's Place.
By the way, I brought that up on the show where I was just like, she's still got a ways to go, because that when I watched it live on YouTube, I was like, you guys didn't even edit that out. That was fucking
There
horrendous.
is, you cannot tell me with the talent that they have, and fine, I'll say anyone. I'll even give you Joey Janela. Even Joey knows that spot would have been a bad fucking idea.
But
But Joey wouldn't even try to hit it like that. Go ahead.
it's just like, why did it happen? They're like, hey, we're gonna do this. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna do this to you.
Because Ty
and
Conti
the other
clearly went to
person
the
said,
top and had no idea what to do, and she was like, I'm up here, I gotta do something. So she went for a freaking senton in a scenario where the person can't protect themselves. If you look at
Yeah.
90% of wrestling
Oh my
moves,
God.
each participant has a protection in it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
said about AJ, when he throws the forearm, he's basically getting caught by the guy.
Right.
We're not breaking kayfabe here. This is just logic.
Like seriously, I don't want to give away the secret of the phenomenal forearm, but anytime you see it, hell, Brock, like I told people, Brock kind of gave away the secret of it if you watch the Survivor Series match, because he basically hugged him as he got hit with the forearm, which is the whole point of the forearm.
Yeah.
Is that way AJ comes down safely. You're taking a very safe hit.
Because AJ's basically perpendicular
Right.
the entire time. He's got no way to catch himself.
Right.
And so the person has to be able to do it.
Right.
But
It's
anyway,
just like when you take the Styles Clash, you're supposed to lift your head up. That way you're taking it on your chest.
yeah.
It looks like you took it to the head,
But
technically
anyway-
you're taking it to your
And
chest.
somebody
We'll
has
get to that
done
useless
unfortunately.
blonde a little more in a second because we have a topic that apparently has resurfaced on the internet that we got to talk about. But anyway, back to the show. Punk defeated Silver. This was actually a highlight because
Sure.
Punk did exactly what he should have done.
Yeah.
He beat the crap out of a guy.
Right.
And then John Silver just kind of decided to go over to his restaurant over there and serve fries while the big boys were talking. And
To be fair, he did what he's supposed to do as an
for those of you
undertalent.
wondering, Long John Silver's was a fast food
Yes,
seafood
yes,
place that
yes, yes.
only has about 30 locations
Yeah,
left in the
no.
U.S., I think.
He did what.
Are they? I'm surprised they're still around.
Well,
Oh,
here's
they
the
are.
thing:
Oh, they
either
are.
you scurry away quickly or you stay dead on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, even I see wrestlers in WWE still not fucking get this. Like, hey, if you got beat up by the heel in a match or something, and then the babyface champion comes down to do a promo, if you couldn't get up quick enough where the camera might spot you walking away,
Just stay there.
just be dead on the outside.
Play dead.
Because then they'll get the refs to quote unquote carry you out.
Yeah.
It just looks better
worst
that way.
case-
Or you just crawl.
No.
Crawl down below if you're
Leroy,
on camera
Leroy,
view.
Leroy,
There's so many cameras. though.
Leroy.
Yeah.
le-
Well,
let-
yeah, no, they have too many
Let
cameras.
the
Yeah.
let the referee come out because then it adds some realness to
Right,
Yes.
because
it.
then it looks like
Let the
yeah.
referee think you're hurt and then tell him as soon as you get behind the curtain, no, I'm fine.
right.
Let that happen.
Well, and they've already told the ref by squeezing their arm or something like, "I'm fine.
Yeah.
I couldn't get out of here on time." And
Yeah.
then they basically dead you out of there.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, okay, I hate to say it, Jesse, as much as you have an issue with his fan base and the man himself, he's making Paige actually legitimate as a champion. It only took 6 months.
And then he's going to lose it.
How do you guys build to this?
It's getting weird. I don't know what's going to happen here. Jesse's actually thinking Phil's going to drop the match.
I'm
Really?
starting to think Phil might lose. Yeah. Which, by the way, 2 months ago when I knew this program was coming, I'm like, he's going to lose to Punk. Now I'm like, they actually might have CM Punk lose this match just to make the champion more legitimate because they have failed to do so.
He's,
Well, they failed all damn day.
Mr. Brooks is going to let that happen?
I don't. By the way, any
I'd be surprised.
and I get it's supposed to be opinion based when we see these wrestling magazines vote for like best champion.
Yeah.
I don't know how Roman Reigns is at number one on everyone's list because that's what a champion should feel like. Is someone it's just like yo, it doesn't matter what you do.
Dominant, plays the role
Right.
correctly. If he's a heel, act like you're the best thing in wrestling
Right.
because you are. If you're a face, do whatever your face gimmick is. But no,
Right.
No, there is no better presentation than what Roman Reigns is currently doing. It doesn't exist in
Right.
wrestling.
He has over. Is it getting close to 700 days?
Pretty
again?
close, yeah.
He has
It'll
over
be
6.
2 years very soon.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it is working on yeah.
He
Oh,
pinned
God, yes.
Braun Strowman, not the Fiend. He pinned Braun Strowman for that title almost 2 years ago.
Yep. Jesse's gonna make sure people.
That
don't
was
forget.
SummerSlam,
The Fiend was
wasn't it?
not pinned.
That was
SummerSlam, yeah.
Was it Summers?
Was it? No.
It was one of the in between papers.
It was one of the in-between pay-per-views.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay,
You can
so
go ahead
yeah,
and look
it's
that up.
coming.
'Cause I can't
Yeah,
remember
but
off the top of my
because he
head.
came back during when the Fiend won the championship back.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they turned into a triple threat.
Next, what happened, and yes, we told you we were going to love it on the show. We're going to fanboy for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Children of all ages.
Hookhausen exists.
Thank
And I
God.
was here for this.
Right.
And I enjoyed this. And this was amazing. Tony Nese played his part very well. And ladies and gentlemen,
I think the most shocking thing was,
what they did afterwards.
well, I thought the most shocking thing was the fact that he basically let Danhausen get fucking squashed.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
I didn't see that
squashed.
coming. I thought Dan was going to get a couple moves in, but no, he just got his ass whooped real quick. which is it works for the character, by the way. But I was just like, because anytime Danhausen has ever been champion, it's been in this weird, he cursed somebody funny way. They screwed up their finishing move, and he was able to pin him deal, which is fine. That's what I've always said about Danhausen. Him being a world heavyweight champion isn't the worst thing you could do to your company, because the story with the character is already built in. So if he curses someone and they screw it up and he gets a fluke championship, you can actually have a lot of fun with that.
Yano 2020.
It needs to happen in Japan.
Yes.
We're coming up to 2023 and he still hasn't held the title, guys. You're starting to upset me. But yeah, I love this segment. By the way, Mark Sterling is brilliant.
He's so good.
Brilliant. And then of course Hook coming out, and then it's just so good. And then now they're gonna have probably the only match I'm looking forward to on that card. And it's during the pre-show.
Yeah.
Hookhausen versus Mark Sterling. For those who don't know, he actually is a wrestler.
Yeah.
And Tony Nese. By the way, it's also weird because sorry guys, I don't know why I have this cough. It's also weird because technically the rest of Team Taz are supposed to be heels.
And
So-
Hook's the most beloved man right now.
And
in
Taz
AEW.
has to Taz is coming in with his son, he's gonna whoop their ass in a couple weeks. And it feels so weird to hear Taz technically be a babyface and a heel at the same time, because the rest of that team is heel.
Yes.
But otherwise, I love this.
God,
No.
this was so good.
Why SummerSlam was stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Reigns came back at
Yes,
SummerSlam.
Yes.
And then at Payback, he won the title.
Yeah.
So
But I just
So was that September?
yeah.
that was
Okay.
2020.
But I gotta
so-
say this. For the
yeah,
first
it's getting
time,
close to 2 years in
Yeah.
September.
for the first time in my
Damn.
recorded memory of watching Dynamite, and I have a lot of bad Dynamite memories. Jeff Hardy got eliminated from a table that never broke. That immediately shot the top three because it was just so egregious.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty
Jesse, they had two segments back to back that were watchable.
bad. They did.
Because the very next segment was MJF with Wardlow, and this was done very well in my opinion. I thought this was actually fun to watch.
Like I keep telling people,
He's clearly doing this for Adam, though.
right.
I mean, he's not doing this for
think,
Tony.
I think one of the coolest things about this whole thing is, unlike the the Cody Rhodes thing, and unlike the CM Punk thing, I think he might go the full mile. I think Adam Warlow is it's gonna be a squash. I think Adam's just gonna whoop his ass at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I could see it.
Like I could just see Adam just whipping his ass for a quick 5 minutes at the pay-per-view, and that would actually make Adam the superstar that they want him to be.
I have a question, though. Hypothetically,
Sure.
it's not COVID, folks. Jesse's just got a lot of
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this cough today.
yeah, but because
Allergies.
yeah.
Maybe.
Well, this is also the first time Jesse was out all day, so I mean, it's probably got a lot
Yeah.
to do with it.
It's odd.
But anyway, Jesse, I hate to say it, if this happens hypothetically,
Yeah.
are their fans gonna revolt? Because I mean, they're supposed to be the 20-minute darlings on the pay-per-views.
I don't think so.
Which will be sad because they'll be basically cheering for a WWE style thing.
Yes, they will be. By the way,
I say that way too much nowadays. It's
because
just
the
so
style
sad.
works. Here's the thing.
Well, yeah, it does.
I tell people all the time. You might hate it. Actually, I had a conversation with a couple of the indie wrestlers here at DPW, because a couple of them are AEW stans, and I get it.
Yeah.
But because they're a lot younger, like 20, 21 years old, stuff like that.
And it's good for their business.
Right.
I can't get
Oh,
mad
yeah.
at them.
But like I was explaining to them, I'm like, what you guys don't seem to realize, and they use it in their matches, the style works, it prolongs your career, and it's entertaining. Which, by the way, when you do all three of those things, makes you money and keeps you around for a very long time.
Well, and I'm not going to say who went backstage when I saw it, but after one of the matches, somebody came backstage and was talking to somebody that's been doing it for a while to say, how did the match go? And I ended it, and he was like, hey, you did a good job, but you should do this because you're a baby face. Don't do this because that's a heel move.
You guys
I mean,
had all
stuff
these
like
great
that.
memories.
I mean, it's boom, it's
I had to
great.
get taken out, and I wasn't there for the rest of the show.
That's
Sucks to be you.
that's because somebody who won his match this weekend, who I will not name until we get the interview, is a dickhead. but we will have him on the show at some point.
Through no fault of I was just trying to do my job.
You know,
Well,
it's just, he's an asshole.
Hey, you
Go
know,
watch DPW
you-
too.
You were trying to do your job. A lot of views on that, so definitely check it out.
Oh, yeah.
You can see what happened to poor Zach.
Try to break my damn leg with a wrestler.
And
Yeah.
then, well, yeah, I'm glad I was there to help
He's
too,
just,
man. Oh,
I don't. I was his biggest fan. Anyway,
You know, yeah, you know.
he breaks my heart.
That's
Anyway,
another day for
It's
that
breaks my
one.
heart.
It's
It
too
hurts
much for you
so
right now.
much to talk about.
Yeah.
But anyway, anyway, to move on there, this was great. MJF was great. Adam's come a long way from just being
Right.
the big guy. Can't wait for him to get a run when this is over with. For some strange reason, we're still defending the FTW title, even though there's never been a real challenger to it.
Really?
Ricky Starks beat Jungle Boy. Yes, Jungle Boy still wrestles at the occasional singles match around the
They just
AEW.
randomly defend that championship, by the way.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely
Also, the fact Brian re-signed for a year.
Yep.
Still have not seen him.
Well, we saw him in ROH, but again, that's where Tony can say, well, I still have... You're hiding him in ROH. He's had one appearance. He's still not on
He's not on-
Dynamite.
and he's not on Dark
This
or
woman
Rampage.
is a very smart business person.
She really is.
She's being quiet right now.
I don't understand. Maybe Brian just wants to do this, and that's and all love to him if that's what he wants to do. Brian, you deserve better. And this is coming from me, someone who hates your logo of "Get Your Shit In."
Yeah, you do.
I'm like, yo, you can do way better than this.
Not that WWE would take him because they kind of already said no, but I feel like he could at least get a tryout with him.
It's not that they said no.
Yeah.
They said no to the contract he wanted.
True.
Which
So,
I'm
If he can get a better contract, put him in NXT for a little while.
What
bring
is he
him on.
though? He's 34.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's getting too long.
So
It's-
somewhere
He might be a
around
little
there.
bit too long in
Listen,
the tooth, they
it's-
say.
He might come in as like a Cassius Ono for a little while.
Or I mean,
Maybe.
listen, because Riddle came in at 31. Keith Lee was 32.
Well, but again, people have to understand, and even Jim Cornette admitted it on the show when the WWE first announced the prospect age thing.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
I'm about to try to drink soda with the cap on.
Yeah, right. There are clearly exceptions to the rule,
been a
though,
day.
because you think about this. Bobby Lashley wanted to come back.
I'm about
You
to
look
cut
at
you
Bobby
off.
Right. And you just say, never mind, because that's Bobby Lashley,
Right,
and he
right.
comes
He's
back
a
and looks
freak.
like that. But there are exceptions to the rule. I don't know if Brian falls under that, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, the FTW title was defended. I don't know why. There's never really a build-up to these matches. It just randomly happens. Maybe it's a dark thing that Jesse's watching that he doesn't even remember.
Is it even on Dark?
No.
No.
Okay, I mean, that's not. Wow, God, that's an idea.
Oh, I love this quote
Put
from
it on
Forbes.
Dark.
Starks won the match after Shane Swerve Strickland, Triple S apparently, quote, accidentally distracted the referee. What are we doing? What is this
distracted
quote?
the referee.
The very next segment
What the hell did he
was
do?
the Jericho Appreciation Society victory speech.
Which was okay. It was fine.
Yeah, which wasn't that bad, but it's
He's
Jericho.
still calling himself a wizard.
Yeah.
Is he playing D&D now?
I don't know, but you know what? D&D would be more entertaining than half the Appreciation Society.
I'd be the dungeon
'Cause-
master, and he would die.
Because by the way, if Jericho rolled for charisma, he certainly did not get a high roll.
Chris Jericho is a future Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
and this is what he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's getting paid. That's about it.
If I roll my eyes any louder, you won't be able to continue recording the show.
Nah,
so.
nah.
I know.
It'll blow
I
the
know.
speakers. After that, we had
I industrialized.
Tony
him.
Storm. We had
Trust
Tony
me.
Storm versus Jamie Hayter.
Good match.
Good match,
Oh
actually.
my God, Tony's on Dynamite.
Yeah, I know. Shocking, isn't it?
Holy shit!
And then, of course, we come to the most egregious moment of the night.
They do the worst shit with the women in AEW.
They really do. Okay.
And they were getting better.
Like it's unfucking forgivable
Yeah,
what they do
no,
with the
it
women's
really is.
division.
Before we get on, before Jesse has anything to say
Sorry,
about
go
this,
ahead.
it's
He
Leroy-
might have a hemorrhage.
That's fair. Okay, so before Jesse gets in, let me get through everything before you get to
Go
it.
for it.
Okay.
Second round of the Owen Hart tournament.
Yes.
We don't know what the prize is, but it's the second round of this
Still.
tournament. Jeff Hardy, former WWE, soon to be Hall of Famer legend,
Correct.
versus Darby Allin, a former, well, I should say current pillar of AEW. We'll get to that in a second.
A weak pillar.
In an anything goes match,
Why?
and Darby Allin sets up I believe that was a 20-footer. a 20-foot ladder in the ring. Jeff Hardy was stacked on a bunch of chairs, and the
saw
dive
that.
that's been all over the place was him not just diving for a splash, but diving for a swanton type bomb through Jeff Hardy that missed Jeff. Jeff had to catch him. Darby was caught by the chairs. Jeff hit the floor. The chairs meant nothing. Oh, and Jeff Hardy won the match. Anyway, Jesse, after you, sir.
Leroy, go ahead.
I saw that.
Oh, by the way, this was an average Dynamite. We were not on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, why are there chairs stacked there? Why are you jumping
Because
off
Taya
of
Valkyrie
ladder?
did this spot a couple of weeks ago, and the guys wanted to up them.
Oh,
Because remember that spot,
Well-
Jesse, where Taya gets put through all the chairs, and I was just like, why?
yeah, it's like,
Gotta be honest. Haven't watched a lot of her matches since she went back to Mexico. Don't really care about her.
Fair enough.
it's like when this is the ladders and chairs. Put that on a pay-per-view. You don't need it on a freaking Wednesday night. Darby, please don't do this because it scared.
Or at least
It
get
scared
paid
the hell
for
out
it.
of me. It scared. I mean, Jeff did his best to try to lessen the hit,
Yeah.
but still, I'm like, Darby. Yeah, you're not going to do this past 30. I don't know if you're going to. How old is he? Is he even close to 30? How many more years he got?
I think it's about 28 or 29. I'll look
He's
it up
not
and
going to
see.
live till 30.
Darby's I think 27.
He's
Okay.
not. He's not going to see 30. If he keeps doing stuff like this,
No. Don't worry. He'll be
please.
dead at 29.
He
if
will.
keeps this
It'll be
up.
29 in 11 months. It'll be dead. Darby, come on. I like you. You're very entertaining. One of my highlights of AEW besides MJF, and you're killing yourself.
Yep.
There's no reason. You did not need to do a 20-foot. You could have done the same thing.
The ring we all know is like a good 3-4 feet. This is a 25-foot spot.
Yeah, you could have been on the top rope, have the ladder, have the chair sitting down there, and
Could have been on the apron.
and either the top rope wouldn't be bad, or on the apron, and do the same thing on the outside on some chairs or on Jeff. That would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But why do we need an anything goes match? Really, I mean,
that is so unnecessary. And I love the first comment on that, by the way.
is a comment on the video?
No.
So
something
that's
else?
a video of the spot he was talking about of.
Athena versus Taya.
Oh, okay,
Technically, I could bring it up on a screen share. We could actually all watch it, but
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I could probably do that now. We'll do something with that later.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so
Yeah.
basically, Athena suplexes Taya onto like these 20 chairs, and it's amazing that the first fan goes, I would actually pay to watch this kind of women's wrestling than the wrestling in WWE. So you really don't care about their physical well-being.
Nope. You only care about
No.
the cheap, quick entertainment that you're going to get out of a terrible.
Those are the kind of fans that the fucking wrestlers get mad at because they're usually the over-entitled type. So you just want to see people smash their fucking face, which, by the way, I bet you people only pay $20 to get into that show.
Probably, yeah.
So, like, by the way, that's not a hate on Prestige Wrestling. It's
No.
actually a really good wrestling company.
You've
check
mentioned them
out.
many times,
Yeah,
yeah.
subscribe to their YouTube.
Yeah.
But what a terrible fucking thing to put on there. And with Darby Allin, let me make this clear. I thought the match was fun. I didn't think it was necessary to fucking have the ladder. They only did it because it's Jeff Hardy.
Yep. And Jeff didn't even take the jump. At least they finally remembered that Jeff was the ladder guy, not the table guy.
And here's the thing. Well, because
It only took him a little while.
the Dudleys are retired. Thank God on Devon's health part.
Yes.
Yes.
And thank God on Bubba Ray's running his mouth part. He better hope I never end up on that podcast. Me and him going to have words. But,
Busted radio.
oh, yeah, me and him going to have some words.
Busted open, yeah.
Because
Call him up. They'll like you on there.
you know what? I'm going to invite him to us, and I'll pay him myself because I would love to have some words with that. Anyway, before I say something terrible,
Yeah.
it's unnecessary. We don't, as Zach just said, we don't even know the prize of this damn
Not
tournament.
only that, but no one's going to remember the move after the next week.
Oh no, they're
because
not.
somebody's going to try to one up that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are there matches already announced for next week? Because usually they already announced their full card for the week after.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
I never know until the
Hit that.
show starts.
Look
but
Because here's the deal: they could announce the full card, but they're gonna rearrange it 6 times. You give Vince crap for rewriting a show. How about you don't even know which match you are on the card till you show up? Because I know they rearranged that 4 times.
a ton of times. Here's the thing: I thought the match was a lot of fun. Darby needs to be protected from himself,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they're not.
God, yes.
And they're just not.
And by
willing
the way,
to
for
do
those
it.
of you wondering why isn't Sting doing anything, Sting doesn't know how this works. We've proven for years that Sting was protected by WCW
Right.
wrestlers and management. He's not a wrestler. He's a guy who was athletic, who showed up, who learned enough to get over. He was never a guy who was going to do it for 50. Sting is surprised he's still wrestling.
I think
yes.
Sting is surprised he's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting paid. You
What
know.
about, well,
Good for him.
but so's Darby. But if I'm Darby Allin and I'm walking in and I'm like, here's a spot. I'm like, okay, what's the bonus for the night? I'm just paying you for the night. Like, fuck, I'm doing this.
Not for that.
No,
And honest, I don't think he cares.
you want me to take a coffin drop from the top rope to the floor? Fine, whatever. I can somehow make that work. But if you're gonna ask me to do a 23-foot swanton onto chairs and a guy who's 50,
Right.
you're damn sure you're gonna bonus my ass for the night. Ain't no way I'm doing that for my basic pay. Fuck that.
Well, I know. Yeah, it scared me watching that. I mean, it did. I mean, oh my God. There's not much more I can say. I mean, come on. We can do better.
And this bullshit that Jeff deserves to go to the finals because he was the only person left in the tournament who actually had a match against Owen. No! The point of this should be to elevate the people who are going to possibly be there in 3 years, which is weird why Darby was in it, but that's a whole other story.
Right.
We'll get to that right after this. But anyway, you wonder why this show sucked and overall and why no one watched it. It's because you started with a bad segment, you had another bad segment, you had a couple of good ones spread out, and then you just decided to shit on them.
Well, here's the thing. I think they started with a great match.
Yeah.
I mean, Dax and
Cole.
Adam Cole.
Yeah.
By the way, I know we talked about Swerve and Keith Lee earlier, but a guy who should be in a much better spot than he is Adam Cole, baby. And this is.
Well, he not a baby anymore.
I'm sorry you chose love. You should have chose money.
Because you would have had the love either way.
Right.
He's like sex or money.
Oh, you would have got the sex either way.
Yeah.
He chose sex.
Yeah. And you probably would have also still been allowed to go on Bar Rescue.
You could have paid for her to have oh hell yeah,
Vince would have done it in a heartbeat.
that is free integration.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Please, no, please.
Yeah.
Go try some horrible food. Wear your shirt while you do it. That's all Vince would have told the wrestler.
Yeah.
Wear one of your
There we
shirts. Because
go.
Drew McIntyre has done that. Just go wear one of your shirts.
Yeah.
And go, please. Please. That's free integration.
Yep.
Please go.
Yep.
Um,
John Taffer's paying the bill.
and you're not going to get hurt unless you get sick from the food, but that's not on me. You wanted to go.
Exactly.
So I don't care.
Exactly.
So
But Jesse,
free promotion.
But Jesse, overall, here's why the show ended up tanking. Because the good segments were not promoted enough to be memorable, and you ended with a match that Jesse, it's been happening 12 seconds into a match, you realize this isn't the old Jeff Hardy.
Raw did 1.37.
A little bit down, but
SmackDown did 1.76. Now they've been down from the 2 million recently.
well, but again, it is playoff time.
Right, right.
I mean, you have to give them when they're standalone and it's just them in baseball. They always creep back up again.
Because baseball is very hard to watch all season long,
I agree.
and I'm a diehard Yankees fan,
And I'm a
they're doing
diehard
great.
baseball guy, but yeah, it's hard. It's a long season.
It's very long. Sometimes you're okay with skipping a couple of weeks and hoping your team didn't do too bad in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're hoping that you were only one game under 500
Right,
at the end
right.
of a 6-week run.
And then after the 2 weeks, you're like, oh, cool, we're still three above water, perfect.
Yeah. Welcome to baseball.
This is a long damn season. But here, my biggest issue, as I throw out those numbers, is this company still cannot stay over 1 million.
Nope.
We're 3 years in, and you still can't stay over 1 million. Now, of course, the report came out that Dave Meltzer talked about, which why wouldn't they, for what they're paying for it, why wouldn't they promote it more?
Yeah.
So now Turner has been happy with AEW, so they're going to start promoting it way more on all their programming, including their sports programming. That will help initially.
But that's the no. Okay. Stop right there because
Yeah.
that's my point. When they got on TBS, Jesse, a lot of those numbers were people that didn't know they were coming.
Mm-hmm.
People who were like, all right, I'll give it a chance because now it's on a channel that I have.
Yeah.
But Jesse, and this is the part that going back to what you said, because I want to clarify what you said. They can't consistently say, how long until they run off the people that come in initially? WWE gets new people, but they keep a portion of them.
Yeah.
You get new people, they're gone within a month.
Yeah.
It's not about they haven't promoted you. It's not about people don't like you. It's not about there aren't over 1 million AEW fans.
Right.
It is you cannot keep people for more than a month.
Right.
And the people that you keep, like I said, they're going to watch you put Amber Heard to shit in the ring.
Right.
They don't care. They're
Apparently
just going to
not.
watch it.
And they're gonna put that.
I
on
keep saying though,
Pornhub
I
for
mean,
that
if
one.
they hire Amber Heard, they actually might get 2 million because if you hire her, right?
Well, yeah.
As a shitty heel.
Well, no one else will.
And I mean that figuratively and literally.
Yes.
And I mean I think if I was a booker there, I'd be like, listen, we could easily get 1.7.
And she's still more entertaining than Paige Van Zandt.
Oh, for sure. That's
Oh my! Everybody has a smart.
she literally shows picture of her ass. I've never seen dudes be like less enthusiastic to simp.
Right.
It's a damn shame because she was one of my favorite younger UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Who came from that show.
Yeah.
Because she was this small town girl living in a lonely world. But small town girl.
That's
was,
as much as we're allowed
I
to play.
know.
We can't play any more than that.
I have to mumble it too, so
Yeah,
we don't
exactly.
get taken off. Here's the thing. I do not understand. You have you have guys who can help you book this show more consistently and better, and you don't use them, and that's killer to me. I just like I said, I want to see it, and like I said, I do think AEW has gotten better from the first couple of months to now. It's definitely better.
This okay. Not to interrupt
But
you,
there
Jesse,
always still
but this
room
just
for
happened.
improvement.
Yes.
But this just happened in the middle of our show. Don't know who you were. We'll check that later. But thank you for getting us to 71 subscribers now officially. So we got 1 subscriber throughout this.
Thank you for the new
Woohoo!
subscription.
Yep. Nope. We appreciate that.
But yeah, they have to be more consistent because like I keep telling the diehards.
You mean they can't have a former heel become a babyface in the middle of a segment with a guy who was a babyface, but his girlfriend's a bitch, so now he's a heel, and he's in a heel faction with a heel manager and a guy trying to be a heel. So you're telling me Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara can't happen?
I'm not talking about that. You know what? Because
That's exactly how I described it too. Don't give me that look. It's exactly how I described it.
So we don't have it on our.
It's kind of
feed.
a confused look here.
Yeah,
Because I saw Frankie Kazarian like,
right.
Frankie Kazarian's now involved in this. I don't know why.
yeah, he's like screaming at him because he's
So we don't have it in our cards lineup, but I'm just going to insert it really quick. So
We have room.
it's about Lacey Evans. So of course the report came out that maybe she got moved to Raw, maybe she'll be a heel now. I 1,000% agree with Lance Storm. If you turn her heel after you did all that,
Yeah.
like that would be the ultimate 80-year-old booking bullshit.
And
right
I agree.
there.
And I agree 100%.
But like Lance actually talked with me in the chat live at on F4W, which is Dave and Brian's channel.
Yeah.
Which surprisingly I haven't been blocked off of permanently.
We're all shocked by that news.
You're being nice. You're playing well.
It's Lance
now.
Storm. I have so much respect for Lance Storm.
Well,
Oh,
here's
yeah.
the deal. Lance is one of those guys that, yes, could always go in the ring, never
Right.
never maybe had the next upper tier
Right.
kind of thing. But I've never denied the fact that anything and everything he's ever said about wrestling kind of has come from a common sense place.
Right.
There
Yeah.
really hasn't been him trying to insert his own
No.
opinion. It's been common sense from the man.
So, and I every point he made was really good. But here's the problem. With WWE doing that, it would be the ultimately stupid 80-year-old booking, right?
Yep.
Tony Khan is 42,
Yeah.
and you do this on national television when you had a more interesting story with Scorpio Sky maybe breaking away from the faction.
Yeah, and now they're just
Yeah.
once again friends, but one's a face almost by default because the fans can't stand the face that was originally in the damn thing because he's creating himself as a heel human being
Yeah.
because his oh my
And
well,
now you're trying to, but yeah, because they're basically trying to return
hold
Sammy
on.
Face.
And remember, it's all integration wrestling, and yet we're gonna talk about a woman being a hoe. Sorry, sorry for the word, but you did that.
Right.
You guys did this, not me. I'm
Right.
just piggybacking off of what you did.
Right.
You called a woman a hoe
Right.
without saying the word
Right.
on national syndicated television.
Right.
Oh, we got pit stop.
No.
Oh, somebody else.
No.
She's been gone for a while.
She's been gone and no one's cared. Anyway,
That's very true.
She's taking a pit stop.
no.
With a pit stop.
No. Leroy, Scorpio.
That's why she's not been on.
I want to agree, but no, she's just been gone.
Yeah, exactly. No, Leroy, Scorpio Sky said, and I quote, this title, referring to the TV championship, because that's basically what it is. It's a TNT TV title.
Yeah.
It is no longer going to be passed around like Ty Conti through the locker room.
That's what he said, yeah. Yeah, that's what he said.
Wow.
But we're supposed to care about the women in our locker room, but we're talking about Ty. Now, yes, Ty's put her personal life on blast, don't get me wrong, but why does somebody else have to talk about it as opposed to, I don't know, her boyfriend?
She is.
We have to get into her boyfriend because, ladies and gentlemen, there were 4 people that we have to talk about this. So recently, I don't know why, the pro wrestling world has had this topic for the last couple of days, and the last month it's been brought back up. The 4 Pillars was a shirt that somebody tried to quote unquote, Jesse, I haven't told you this yet, but somebody commented one time saying, well, they were never promoting them as the next great stars. They said they're just promoting 4 young talents. And I'm like,
Right.
no, that's not what they were doing. Where the fuck have you been for the last 2
They
years?
should be
But
the
anyway,
next stars that are coming up to make
Let's
this
see
number
here.
big.
Let's see
But
here.
no.
I have a quote that I believe I posted. So the 4 pillars, Jesse, would you like to remind the wonderful people at home what are 4 pillars?
So the 4 pillars of AEW are supposed to be Sammy Guevara, MJF, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Okay, so I just want to point something out. So this is a quick rundown of the 4 pillars. MJF, falling out with the idiot owner. Jungle Boy, regulated to the tag division with a dinosaur.
Boy, did I call that.
Sammy Guevara, the fans hate him, has go-away heat, and is going to be paralyzed in a year. Darby Allin has already said he probably won't be wrestling after 30. Real pillar material. Where am I wrong? That was 4 quick sentences, and where have I been wrong?
You're not.
Oh, that's true.
One's gonna leave because he's clearly not gonna get paid what he deserves. And again, he'll give Vince a discount
Right.
because Vince will make him more money out of the ring than he
Right.
will in the ring.
Right.
One of them's an idiot who apparently is like, I'm a star, but I ain't gonna do this because all I want to do is stupid fucking bumps.
Right.
Darby Allin, I think, was going to beat an MAW show. We should not go to that one because I got a lot of heat with Darby Allin right now. He doesn't know about, but
No, he's not.
I can't speak to the man right
That-
now if he's going to do this kind of stupid
No,
bullshit.
it's not an. No, that's Nerdicon.
Nerd and Outcon?
Nerdnutcon. MAO is probably going to do a show on that Friday, but he's going to be there.
Jesse, make sure I just don't see the man. Anyway,
Okay.
Sammy Guevara.
Okay.
We're going.
Fans hate him. They want him gone because they're tired of it. He's being shoved down their throats because Tony doesn't have any idea that right now you need to take him. See, if a wrestler did
Right.
something stupid, they're pulled off TV in WWE. Apparently, Tony's like, no, keep going out there. This is going to work. And it's like, no, he has X-Pac heat. They don't want him around. Get rid of him. Oh, by the way, he's going to be fucking a paraplegic in less than a year because all
Probably.
he's going to do is ladder match after ladder match after ladder match, and he's going to do 5 rotations and realize that at 4.5 he hits the ground before he finishes the 5th rotation. Anyway, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, famous dad. Vince would milk that cow until it was dead.
Right.
He would still be pulling dust out of the udder.
And
And you're just like, tag team division with a dinosaur. Oh, by the way,
if I could play that song, I would. Walk the Dinosaur. I would
Yeah.
be playing that right now.
And by the way, your freaking helpful partner, Chris Stunt, is basically replacing Marco Stunt.
Right.
He's there for what exactly? To
No
eventually turn on Jungle Boy and then
Probably.
do nothing because we've done nothing with Christian to this point?
Correct.
So let me get this straight. Christian's launching pad to being the AEW World Champion
Right.
is going to be beating up a dude that's in the tag team division with a dinosaur. Wow, guys. That's a great... Oh, by the way, I'm being facetious because it's not going to happen.
Right.
But that's basically what you're trying to explain to me is going to happen. But then... And then, of course, MJF. He's told you to go fuck yourself. You were not angry. And I will repeat this every day until an AEW fan turns and tells me I'm right. Because as long as you tell me, oh, no, it's standard and practices.
Right.
Go fuck yourselves. It's not standards and practices.
Right.
Until you all admit that it's not, because we all know it's not.
Right.
Because, Jesse's got 2 ears and 2 eyes and they work.
They
so
do.
So does Leroy.
They do.
Yeah.
You're mad because he told you in an interview, if you're not going to pay me more, I'm going to literally give you the middle finger, tell you to sit and spin on it, and I'm going to go work for the other guy up north.
Truth.
Yeah.
That's what he told you.
Truth.
And
He's
actually, technically, he just has to go from Tampa to Orlando. But anyway,
Oh, that's really all he has to
that's
do.
it. It's a short drive up the interstate.
It's a really short drive.
But basically, he fell out with you because not a single report has said that you've done anything to kiss his ass, which you should, because you have no clout in this industry to go find someone
Nope.
bigger than MJF right now. Because all of your fucking bigger stars than MJF, they're there because they don't want to work for Vince.
Right.
It's not that hard. Daniel Bryan has a great relationship. He just wanted to work with New Japan.
Right.
Punk went there first, but decided he didn't want to deal with the same old bullshit.
That keeps being forgotten about, but correct.
Keith Lee was released because they didn't know what to do with him. We still don't agree with it,
Right.
but he's there
Right.
and he's on Dark.
Which is dumb.
Like
Yeah.
name one person on that T-shirt that is anywhere with that company right now, except for MJF is doing a job for a buddy. And I wouldn't be surprised if after he's done with Adam, he doesn't knock on the door of Tony's office and say, "World title run, or I'm out."
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't
Oh, he
happen
should.
because he'll do a job for his buddy. Because from what I've seen, they're very good friends.
They're very close.
They're
yeah.
actually very good friends. He's literally gonna say, "All right, world title shot, or I'm out of here," and wave bye-bye to Adam when his contract's up because he's just gonna come join me up north.
Oh, he had definitely. I mean,
Because why would Adam stay?
Well, he gave them some hope when he was on Chris Van Filet, and he was talking about when they
Adam, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
Warlow, because he was talking about he did a tryout with them a few years back before the pandemic,
Yeah.
and how they so apparently Paul Levesque, Triple H liked him
Yeah.
a lot, saw a lot of good, but apparently the Funky Man, who, by the way, sucked. It's the only time CM Punk's been right.
But he was a
completely right
legend in Japan.
Yeah, legendarily comic.
To quote CM Punk, you had the look, but boy, oh boy, did you ever suck.
He sucked, and he could not compare
talk
to the rest
about
of his family.
Again, to quote CM Punk, you talk about your great run in Japan. You went to Japan because nobody in America would book your ass.
No, they wouldn't, because he was terrible. The good thing he ever came up with was the Ace Crusher. That was it. So here's the thing: known as the Diamond Cutter, known as the
Yep.
RKO.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So the Funk Man fucked that up for them.
Yep. But Vince will overrule the Funk
But
Man.
you don't think Vince will take another look at because clearly he watches television. Clearly he knows what's going on in AEW because he doesn't give Cody Rhodes $4 million if he doesn't go, yeah, but Cody's a huge star now. Like Cody made himself into a star now.
Even if somebody edited AEW to show Cody's high points, Vince still knows. Vince probably gets a Finkel-type report every single week
Sure.
of what they did on Dynamite. He probably has that.
Right.
There's no denying. I'm not saying Vince is adding
Well,
to the
because they're
ratings.
clearly scouting their guys all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
apparently someone else that came up in WWE talks besides MJF and Warlow was Mr. Dinosaur himself. So apparently he came back up again because they were like, wait, we had him in NXT. By the way, that shows for a while he was not paying attention to NXT.
Yeah.
The Triple H was like, yeah, we had him in NXT, boss. Like, Dad, we had him here for like a year and a half. And it was your guy who told me they didn't think he would ever make it on.
I actually think, and there's no rumor, I don't have any stories. I think now that Triple H is back and that Vince is paying attention,
Right.
in my opinion, and again, don't quote me on this. I could be very wrong about this.
Sure.
I think that Funky Love is going to be getting a lot more questions from Vince about what happened with this person, what happened with her, what happened with him. They're going to have to answer a lot more questions than I think
Well, I don't
they
think
thought.
they have a choice because, you know, a lot of those wrestlers were willing to leave and not do the 30 days because Papa H wasn't there for a while because of his health.
Yeah.
And listen, Sean can throw around weight, but that's not what Sean does.
No.
From what I've heard about what Sean is like backstage nowadays, now that he's older and all that, like this is definitely Uncle Sean. Like it's Sean who puts their arm around him, but he's not really going to go up to Vince and be like, man, let's just give the guy a chance.
Yeah, no.
Because if Vince would listen,
Yeah.
it's Shawn Michaels who did so much for Vince in a 3-year span in the 90s, but it's not like a Triple H should be like, Dad, you're just wrong. We gotta give this a chance.
That 3 years is a Hall of Fame career for anyone.
But then he came back.
But then he came back and had
And
another
it just
Hall of Fame
and
tenure.
absolutely
Oh, God,
solidified
yes.
himself.
Oh, there was no question. There was no question. But no, folks, there are people, and I mean that there are real people involved here, not just a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Kenny. Which, by the way, I can't even say that because Kenny still can't get the game out. But anyway, there are real
That was
people.
a kind of cool little teaser. 2 years into the fucking process.
Yeah.
Another year before it should come out.
2 years.
They
into the
said
process.
September, but I'm like, ain't no fucking way that's gonna be ready
It
by
doesn't
September.
feel like it's gonna
There's no
happen.
goddamn way.
It's going to be such a horseshit
Because by
game.
now you'd have a roster, you'd have gameplay,
Right.
You'd probably have a demonstration somewhere.
Right.
There'd be something. We've gotten 4 still photos. But anyway,
They showed a little bit of gameplay a couple
yeah.
weeks
But
ago.
but anyway, we have to get off this because there's a lot of good to get to.
Yes.
Jesse,
Yes.
there are real people here. Leroy, there are real people in real contract negotiations who want their money.
Well, yeah.
And everyone's like, well, AEW's got more money. Then why is Vince re-signing people?
Right.
That's what I don't... I will never let Tony Khan live this down as long as I live, and I'll say it to it. You know what? This might be the first thing that I say to his face if I ever meet him. So let me get this straight. You said, and I quote, I've got more money than Vinnie Mac. But Kevin Owens was outbid by WWE? Kevin Owens.
Right.
Kevin Steen. Kevin Generico Steen, former ROH champion, King of the Indies, Ladder
Yeah.
Wars, the guy who was a pillar in Mount Rushmore
Right.
of PWG. That Kevin Owens wasn't worth the money that you offered him,
Right.
but WWE outbid him. And by the way, they didn't outbid. It was only $3 million. That's not a lot for a guy like that.
Right.
No, it ain't. But oh well. Yeah, it just yeah.
Jesse, in my opinion, I agree with you. I think he's out. It's just a matter of, is Tony going to get butt hurt and is he going to go early, or is he literally going to sit there? And you know what? Actually, if I know Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I think he might literally just say after this Wardlow thing,
Fuck you.
he's going to pull the biggest WWE thing ever, and instead of a 90-day no-compete, WWE's holding me down from getting bookings, he's literally just going to sit at home, collect his check, and wait for the goddamn thing to run out, and then tell you to go fuck yourself and go work with Vince. He
Right.
might do it. He doesn't get hurt for another year. He's still young as hell. Vince will get him at a perfect age.
Right.
And then he'll go to WWE and have a 15-year run with more money, and he'll have saved himself all those bumps that Tony's going to want him to take.
Right.
And
I-
there'll be such. Cody's pop was huge and shook that stadium. MJF, it might be almost the same.
All I have to say is this. If there was ever a moment to keep something on Pentagon lockdown,
is this,
it,
yes.
it would be wait until, I don't know, a random Raw or SmackDown and just have somebody that's somewhat well established in WWE walk out there. Entrance or not, just give them the jobber entrance.
Yeah.
And then just have it go, don't do lights out too much, but just have the screen say across it, I'm better than you and you know it.
Oh, people lose their shit.
that roof will be needed to be redone.
I might poop myself.
Amber Heard's already done that enough for the rest of us. Anyway,
Well,
to get off that, we got a few more things to get to.
Yes.
So it's very odd, but Jesse, you've had a rough week in New Japan. From the betrayal of the king
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new champ.
to hold on, no, that was a
That's the
tag
good
match.
part?
That was a tag match at Collision, Capital Collision. That was a tag match. And then, of course, the biggest news.
IWGP US champ.
Yes, but
Yeah.
hold on. We're forgetting the biggest, most important news that happened at Capital Collision. Something that will change the landscape of the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Leo Rush is back. Anyway,
Yeah, I heard that.
The show was okay,
yeah.
but it was a nothing burger.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
By the way,
those.
good job selling that place out for a nothing burger. A fucking listen, fun
no
match
ketchup,
fest.
No nothing.
Like it's basically you paid triple the amount you would for an indie show.
Yep.
Because these guys are more well known.
Yep.
And listen, you were gonna get your money's worth. You really were. With that said, this show, besides the the IWGP US Championship, was a nothing burger. It was a nothing
that
burger.
sucks.
And this is coming from the biggest New Japan
Yeah.
stand that you'll ever possibly walk into.
It was a nothing burger. Now, I wasn't shocked at Tanahashi lost.
Right.
I saw that coming.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised it was Juice.
I bet
Oh.
you were. I bet you were.
Because I really did think.
Do we have the results of his new contract yet? Is there any details on that?
From what I know, it's a 3-year deal.
Okay.
I don't think that's been confirmed, but from what I've read and gotten to learn about it, it's a 3-year deal.
And they like Juice. They've never
They
really
love Juice.
they've never really hated on Juice.
At first, basically what it was is I think he used the contract expiring as a negotiation tactic, which I have no problem with.
Yeah, no.
He got his money out of them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, really the only American company he could go to, there's only two. There's Impact and there's WWE. I don't even want to hear about AEW or MLW for Juice. Because, like I said, WWE might have given him another chance now that he's a bigger star.
Well, but Vince will do that to anybody.
right.
I mean, Cody's an outlier,
right.
but I mean, Vince will do it to anybody.
Well, I've always said Cody isn't that much of an outlier when you think about it.
True.
When you go and start a whole nother fucking company to run against him, he respects that kind of shit.
He does. He does.
Yeah,
He
oh, yeah.
really, really
Like,
does.
and it's a weird thing about him. Like, he respects someone that goes, you know what, I'm gonna just compete against you, man. And I think it takes, I bet you the meeting, what Cody talks about, it was probably for him. It felt a little tense, and Triple H is like, it seemed like the old man was just happy to be in the room with him again. Like, you son of a bitch. Like, I give you credit. Like,
Definitely.
Now Triple H didn't get to everything that Vince said to him, but he probably was like, you son of a bitch, you almost got lucky and started to run against me. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Like, you actually made me pay attention to developmental. That's pretty good. Like, he respects that kind of
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I told people, I think everyone was shocked when Eric Bischoff got hired, but really when you think about it and you think about Vince McMahon, you shouldn't have been.
No.
Because he was just like, son of a bitch almost ran me out of business. Now, I won,
Yeah.
but he almost ran me out of business. I like this guy. Let me hire him.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
But
definitely.
again, I've said on the show, wrestling is a different idea, but TV wise, Eric Bischoff knows what to do on camera.
right.
He's never not known what to do on camera.
And so, yeah, Juice winning was the shock. A lot of the other matches were good. Leo, dude, how many times are you gonna fake retire and come back, bro? Like,
you mean at this point, might as well just go with Leon Rush because he wrestles more than Leon Ruff.
Yeah.
What I don't understand,
Yeah.
how many times are you gonna fake retire? Now, I don't think he's as I don't think he's like a bad person or a damaged person or anything like that.
No.
But this shit gets old to me now with Leo Rush.
Because remember, you said that the dates that he was going to finish up with New Japan from the last injury,
Right.
he finished that up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Those dates were done
Yeah.
forever ago.
And then, so when I saw him come out, I was just like, I guess. And he's going to be great in the junior division.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's been there before, by the way.
Yeah.
But I just.
How many times can you? We can't miss you if you literally won't go away.
Right!
That's true.
It's
Maybe
really that old shit. Like, how am I supposed to miss you when you won't leave?
Like you just won't leave it for long enough.
Like,
he needed more money, I guess.
Well,
I
his
mean,
spending habits have been documented.
Well documented. Now, apparently, he's been more responsible because he's got 2 babies now.
He does, yes.
But I
understand.
We'd like to knock a few things off here. We would love to extend our love and hope and prayers to Jake Roberts.
Yes.
Reports are he's not doing the best. It caught up to Eddie Guerrero a lot earlier than obviously Jake, but, I mean, it doesn't matter how much DDP yoga you do. Those days will catch up to you at some point, and hopefully this isn't the end for Jake. We pray for him on that.
Well, he smokes. It's not the healthy thing to do.
Yeah,
but
it's not
he
the best
smokes.
thing in the world.
It's a
to
bad
do.
habit, but you know what? I really hope
I don't.
he stays.
Yeah, I don't
for a
care
while,
what
so.
either of you say. I don't give a shit about Ric Flair wrestling again. I don't want to see it again. May this not happen.
I
Because
really, really hope he does
Speaking of
not.
people who need to just go the fuck away.
Yep.
What is his deal, Leon? Leroy, sorry.
There's a lot of L's today.
Sorry, there's a lot of L's.
Well,
We're taking a lot of L's here today.
maybe he's dealing with the.
Big Roy. I'm going to just call you Big Roy.
There
from
we
now
go.
on.
you go.
Let's go with Big Red.
He's dealing with the bigger dick syndrome or something. Because that happens, like somebody called him out or something, and I could. do
He
this.
won't go
He
away.
just won't. He won't.
He will be 74.
He's
I think?
73 right now.
He's 73 right now. It's
Because
probably
he's got a birthday in the summer,
he
I
does,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Because when they did the Batista thing, I think that was the summer. I could be wrong. It
Yeah.
could have been the fall.
It's like, yeah, you can take a bump, but Rick, you take the wrong bump, you're gonna bust out your hip.
Dude, you've had
And
the
you might
last heart
die.
surgery was so serious that you even like Triple H and your family were like, dude, you have to
Oh, he
stop.
You had organs shutting down one
Right.
point.
He
He almost died.
He has a pacemaker,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it's not because you hit just right with that pacemaker.
Yep.
The pacemaker's gone.
Which also tells me that this match will probably suck anyway because they can't do certain things to him because of the pacemaker, and it's just all going to go wrong. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to see this.
can't chop. Him
I'm not
in the
going to care
chest.
about this. Don't
No.
send me video of this.
Please, God. no.
Don't.
They're
don't-
gonna put it up in the lounge anyways.
I'm
and
going to watch it
I know.
to report it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Okay, good.
But I'm at a point with Ric Flair that the later part of his life to me is starting to affect how I felt about his whole career.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I could forgive a lot of the early racism. It was the days he grew up in.
You know what's weird?
Oh yeah.
See the later days of Hogan's life. Like, I mean, this for two guys that did not like each other professionally, they're becoming fucking mirror images of each
But
other.
to be fair, Terry Bollea is a fucking miserable human being.
That's true.
So as far as I'm concerned, that's all karma for being that greedy for fucking 42 years. This is all karma, buddy. Anyway,
There you
I
go.
don't want to see this either. I'm going to watch it though. It's because apparently it's going to get live streamed.
People don't.
I'll report on it.
People don't think that I watch as much wrestling as I talk about. I do, but Jesse, I will fully admit you can take this one because
And listen, I don't want to.
yeah.
But I'm like, I might as well. So
This will
we
be
can
your
talk
punishment
about
for Roads to the
There
Top
we
season
go,
2.
yeah.
Not
because
being
WWE
aired.
is like, we're not bringing that shit.
No, no.
Oh God.
I thought they might and put it on Peacock. They're like, no.
That's
Even we won't stoop that low.
okay. That is not going to be on. We're not going to watch that on
No.
the cock.
No. Also, I want to point this out, folks. When you get to a certain point in your career and you're just a star, you don't need to work 100 dates. You
Correct.
don't. Roman Reigns is not leaving the WWE because there has only been one successful member of this family outside the WWE, and Jacob Fatu is only not in WWE because of his past transgressions
Correct.
with the law. This family doesn't leave the WWE. They
No.
don't. And
No.
Vince will always push them to the moon regardless. But there is no reason for the tribal chief. He said goodbye to, I think it was a place in New Jersey, that they don't run very often anyway. But he's not going to do house shows because there's no effing point.
No.
52 nights, minimum a year, is all that should be required of Roman Reigns.
And he wrestles less than that because if you, like I told people, if you really think about it, he very rarely wrestles on television.
And even if he's in like a 6-man with the Bloodline, they do most of the work. He comes in for 2 Superman punches, a
Right.
spear, he's done.
Right.
Night's over.
Right.
But Jesse, there are moments when you've reached a level that there's no point in being a workhorse. I'm sorry, but that's just how it works.
The guy's the best world champion in pro wrestling. What you do with the best world champion most of the time. This was my biggest thing about Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
I didn't care about all the opponents because you could let if Tony Khan wanted to be on screen, quote unquote official, almost like Adam Pearce, and like name his opponents like that. I wouldn't have cared. But just Kenny, you don't have to wrestle then. Seriously, you should build up enough of a presence as a champion where you just maybe being there is a big part of the show. And that's Roman. Because he's the big champ. Unlike Lesnar.
He's now the champ, double champ.
Right. Now, what I appreciate about this more than like I said, when I hated the Lesnar year run, was that Roman's at least at the live tapings for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't care if he doesn't wrestle. Like, that's fine. The presence, though, of when they're talking crap about you and you being there should still be present in the stories, which makes his storylines some of the best in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like take a good bump he took from Riddle on Friday. Ooh,
Right.
damn.
And so, like,
That was nice.
to me, there's
was a good
nothing
time.
wrong with the fact that he's not going to do the house. He shouldn't. Just like apparently the rumor is he's not the only one getting pulled from house shows. Drew McIntyre is going to do a lot less of them. Well, if Drew McIntyre is going to be one of your biggest baby faces, he should do less of them.
Yeah.
The point is to make sure.
Plus,
that
to be fair, most of the time they combine the rosters for the house shows anyway.
most of the time, time when you hear WWE's coming to town, you just hope there's half the people they originally announced
Right.
anyway.
And you're going to get great matches. They actually interact with you more at the
Oh,
house
they do.
shows.
Yeah, no. Oh,
so
yeah.
they're still a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a great time. But no, it's just folks. He's not leaving.
Right.
There's no way in hell he would, because guess what? Tony probably can't afford him either.
Probably not.
Roman Reigns is not leaving the WWE.
No,
And by the way,
no.
if he takes time off, the guy has put in the road mileage. Jesse, you and I have this conversation. I think twice a week. It is a new age. The athletes are different.
Right.
You can't treat them the way that you used to. You
Right.
just can't.
Right.
And you want to know what's also very nice, folks? You shouldn't treat your condiments the same way anymore because you have more options. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Haitian
That
Heat
is
hot
true.
sauce is also still available. Jesse, I will leave this one to you as always, sir.
Haitian Heat Hot Sauce brought to you by local boxer Outstands here in Duluth, Minnesota / Superior, Wisconsin. Haitian Heat is made with all natural ingredients, natural pepper. For those who don't know, the pepper, while a hot vegetable, the actual fruit
Actually.
is an actual fruit. So when you can get around the seeds, it actually does have a fruity flavor. And they use that fruity flavor to the best of their ability to give you 4 different hot sauces. Habanero, a regular hot sauce. I'm forgetting the other 2. Jalapeno
Yep.
and... I forgot the other ones. I apologize.
In
the live chat...
Which is funny because I think that one's your favorite.
It really is.
The one you're forgetting might be your favorite.
It's a green sauce.
Yes.
It's very delicious. But as well as 4 hot sauces, they also do 2 barbecue sauces. I will show you on screen right here. This is the main hot sauce that actually you can now find in stores.
Yes.
If you go to the Facebook.com, you can actually find that they have put it out in local stores.
Yep.
If you are not in the Minnesota area, feel free to go to Facebook.com/Haitian Heat. That is, once again, Facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Like I said, I will put the links not only in the chat, but in the bio of this video. And make sure you go order your product today. Now, he is getting ready for a fight.
He is.
The fight, I believe, comes up in June here. But that production team is still very hard at work. So just pay attention to when your order finally ships out.
Yeah. Trust
Definitely.
me, it's worth the wait. I don't know how many bottles the 3 of us have gone through since we've gotten this sponsorship.
A few.
But,
I'm on 16 now. I'm on my group of 16.
yeah.
Use a lot more than I do, but you know what? As you say,
We put that shit
Sorry.
on damn near everything.
Yes, we
really
do.
Also, folks, not normal for a hot sauce. It's a lovely marinade.
Yeah,
Yes.
so this is a hot sauce that unlike, this is not a shot at Red Hot or anything like that, but unlike your normal hot sauces, you can actually use these hot sauces. I've used the Maine Haitian Heat that Leroy was promoting there as just a flavor for my steak.
Yep.
And the juices flow right through the meat, and
I
you get
personally-
such a juice in it.
I personally have done that a couple of times with some of the little minute steaks that we have at like Quick Trip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I would now. I don't know about you, Jesse. I've let them sit for about 24 hours.
Sure.
You know that's what I'll do.
Sure.
I tend to just do a quick little sear on each side. It's not a full size steak, so it doesn't need a long cooking time.
Right.
For me, I like a good mid rare
Sure.
on those.
Sure.
To me, if you go well done, you'll dry it out, and then you don't get the flavor of the sauce because
Right.
it's a tough bite.
Right.
But no, for me, I would go mid rare
Mid rare
on the steak.
I usually do medium rare with my steaks too.
Yep.
But yeah, and not only that, the barbecue sauces are a perfect marinade. So once again, that is facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Like I said, once again, when we are done streaming, I will actually have that link in the bio.
Yep.
And also, for your entertainment, there is a beautiful wrestling company out there in Las Vegas.
Oh, yes,
they actually
there
just
is.
had a show.
Yep.
I know you and your son got the chance to work with one of their main entertainers in Funny Bone.
Oh yeah.
Zach, tell them more about Dark Arts Entertainment.
Would you like to hear more about them?
We'd like to hear
yeah.
much more about Dark Arts
Okay,
Entertainment.
well, folks, we here at 13 Cards love wrestling. We love wrestling of all kinds, even if sometimes AEW pisses us off. We still wish them nothing but the best. Dark Arts Entertainment presents live pro wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound located in the Arts District of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Correct.
A hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts shows also include live bands, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and more. Jesse, what's the more?
The more is not only do you get your beer, but they're also 420 friendly, and they have local fire shows there as well.
They do.
Yes.
Come see top talent and matchups you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas. They are a very tight knit group.
Yes.
But with the level of show that I've seen that they put on, and just working with the guys up here,
Up here. Oh yes.
they're very particular. But I see why, because
Right.
they have to be on point,
Right.
to put on that level of show. For more information or to get tickets, head over to darkartsvegas.com. That is capital DARK, capital ARTS, capital VEGAS.com. Or grab the official mobile app from the App Store for either iOS or Android today. If you have any issues with those, they are a very responsive team and do their best to fix any technical issues.
If you ever have issues with the Facebook, and I will put their links in the bio below.
Yep.
Just go find them on Facebook, message them. They are actually very responsive.
Yes.
They will help you out.
Yes. So we love those guys. Very soon, Jesse will be at one of their shows.
I'm planning on going to a show. I believe it's late July.
Okay.
I will announce when I finally get the tickets finalized.
Yep.
And that way,
Oh, I gotta get
You can-
I gotta get Twins tickets finalized. So
that way, you
Oh.
guys,
Hey,
Oh, there you go.
if you're thinking about
Hey,
going,
man.
you come visit me
Hey, man.
while
Why
I'm
not?
enjoying a
hey
wrestling
man,
show.
Jim Cod finally got in the Hall of Fame. They're gonna retire the jersey. I'm gonna damn sure
Ooh,
go
yeah,
watch
you
him
should
do
go.
it.
You should definitely.
Oh,
Damn
you
sure
gotta
to
watch
watch him
that.
do it. You don't get to see a lot of jersey retirements anymore these days. But anyway,
And also, if you're a fan of our podcast, definitely check out the Battle Draft Podcast. Good friends of ours. Actually,
Stewie and his brother do a wonderful, wonderful show. I've listened to them many times. They're-
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
a lot
so
of
have I,
fun.
yeah.
Basically, folks. Do you like movies, video games, or anything that's just entertaining? AEW. You're entertaining. Get over it. You're entertainment. Anyway, well, then let the battle begin with the Battle Draft podcast. Listen on Spotify, Google Podcast, or Apple Podcast. Follow them on Instagram at Battle Draft Podcast. Asked with an exclamation point. That's
Correct.
important on these apps. And then if you just want to say something about it, and you like to listen to it, just enjoy it or whatever. They don't care.
Yeah.
But basically, they do a great show. They go over a lot of current entertainment. They draft a lot of their own stuff.
Correct.
They pick a lot of their own favorite things. It's a lot of fun for just a
Right.
nice little
And
fun
they're,
listening experience.
they're also on Podomatic too. So if you follow us on Podomatic, you can follow them on Podomatic
Yeah, exactly. And just to finish them up, because she also deserves it, Handmade Mama LLC is providing adult and children's clothing,
Correct.
handmade, organic in the United States, all free shipping inside the United States, but you can't order outside the United
Correct.
States. Wonderful, wonderful product, and
Yes.
very hard-working young lady that does
Yes.
it. And very nice looking stuff too. And
I mean,
yeah.
it's so well crafted.
Yep.
So if you decide to order from Handmade Mama, just know the product you're getting is not only top notch, but it is handcrafted by her.
Yep.
By a small team that she has. So give it some time because you're getting a great product. You really are.
Quality product.
It's true. And if you like stuff like, hey, you see behind me,
We also have merch, folks.
we got merch.
We got merch.
$20. Get a shirt.
Message
Let me know
us-
what size.
Message us.
We'll get to you.
Message us on Facebook. DM us on Twitter. I believe Jesse is also available on Instagram.
Correct.
If you have any questions, but yes.
And all the links will be in the channel, by the
Yep.
way, in the channel bio. So make sure you go
Yep,
check them
and-
out. Except for the merch, you'll just have to message us for
Yep.
that.
Just send us a direct message through our Facebook page.
And as we said, we have a current order that we're trying to get through. If you need something outside of our size range, there is no outside of our size range. There is just
Damn
a
right.
point where we need to, go back and order some more.
Correct.
We have already said many times there is no size that we will not make
Right.
or work with.
Right.
And we will do our best financially to make sure that you pay the same amount regardless of the size of shirt.
Correct.
That's irrelevant to us. We are more than happy to cover the extra cost to make sure that just because you're a 4X doesn't mean that you should pay more than someone that has a 2X
Correct.
Heck no.
or even an XL in our opinion.
Correct.
So we appreciate that. It's time to get there, Jesse. Impact had Under Siege
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Leroy, do you have the results for Jesse?
Oh, shit.
The one time you're not
I
ready,
forgot
and I called
about
to
that
you.
one.
That's okay. That's okay. Jesse's got him on his phone. He's
I-
going
I'm
to
going to load them up quick.
You had fun with this pay-per-view.
I had it,
I
and
think-
then I lost it.
I think Impact, as me and Marcus talk about in the PW all the time,
You do.
if you're not searching up for Impact,
That's on you.
that's on you, man. Because the last 2 years, Impact has done some of the best, I don't even call it independent wrestling work. It's the mid-range wrestling work. So a little bit below AEW and WWE because of production and stuff like that. But the quality of pro wrestling that you get from Impact is phenomenal. So Impact Under Siege, of course, a couple of weeks ago. I don't know why my phone did that. It kind of froze on it. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. I've also caught a good portion of it on like restreams and like recaps. So it was a lot of fun. Good show.
So for those who don't know, there was a double main event.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Let me just get out the big points. Sami Callihan returned,
Yes.
which is monstrously huge.
Yes.
Guy's been out for a long time dealing with a really serious, I believe it was a jaw injury.
I think so. Yeah.
And seeing him back in Impact felt so good.
He has he has an energy that is uniquely his.
And it's one of those things when it comes to him that he really is Impact. I'm actually he was one of the early NXT releases that I was happy about.
Solomon Crow, I believe, was his original name.
Yeah, because
I believe so, yeah.
I seen what happened to Bray Wyatt. We all seen what happened to Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah. And
it unfortunately wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. Well, Sammy is that kind of creative guy.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Had a long run in Lucha Underground for a couple of seasons.
Correct. So to start the pay-per-view, it was a tag match. Heath Slater and Rhino, just known as Heath and Impact, of course. They defeated Raj Singh and Shera. Great tag match. I mean, what's really cool about Heath and Rhino being back together is that they've been able to kind of elevate the program that they were already doing in WWE.
Yeah.
And take it to a more serious route. Even though, to be fair, they were SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
They were, yes.
And those two guys together are absolutely wonderful. I feel like Heath has learned so much from working under Rhino.
Yep.
Do I wish maybe at some point maybe Heath comes back and gets the mid-card run that he deserves in WWE? Absolutely.
Give him the world title so 3MB.
I was about to say they've all heard.
Time.
Yeah, they've all had it. Only second to Evolution. So, Rich.
Well, the Shield existed.
Well,
I know
the Shield.
I know.
The Shield might be probably the greatest faction of all time because of the success they've all had as
That's
singles.
true. They're all Grand Slam.
So, Rich Swann in a triple threat match defeated Laredo Kid and Mike Bailey. Listen, Rich Swann, like I tell people, the reason he was released was legitimate.
Yep.
With the reports of, the fights, between him and I believe now ex-wife, there was no getting around it. There were worse reports about maybe what happened every week. And WWE just decided, business-wise, we have to move on, but you're more than welcome back when you can get this thing settled.
Yep.
He decided to go to Impact once he got it settled, and he has really revitalized his career. He's one of the most entertaining wrestlers on the planet. Good win for him. Giselle Shaw beats Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne, coming out of retirement, has done some of the best work of her career. For those who don't remember, Madison Rayne, of course, was one of the founding members of The Beautiful People with Velvet Sky
Angelina Love.
and Angelina Love, and eventually
Lacey Von Erich.
Lacey Von Erich.
God, she's hot.
Oh, Leroy.
It is kind of crazy.
Dude, I have met. I
are-
met her
I know.
at a Heavy on Wrestling. You got her autograph. from
I
her.
know.
And fucking,
You will always be an ODB. There's no doubt about that.
Well, she's hot for other reasons, but
and she wrestles barefoot too, like her daddy.
yeah, which is crazy.
Fucking or no, her uncle.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Who's
Oh.
still alive is the last member alive. I
Yep.
think that's Carrie who's still alive.
I
yeah,
think so,
Carrie.
But I thought this was a fun match. Madison putting over a young talent in Giselle Shaw, and I really like what they're doing with their women's division in Impact. Chris Sabin beat Steve Macklin. This was the shock to me.
Didn't Alex Shelley no show because he double booked himself by accident?
So he accidentally double
Yes.
booked, and I think what head of Impact did was really cool
Yeah.
because he allowed him to go work that show instead.
He chose the other show, but the reports were he worked the taping shortly after.
Right,
so
right.
Yeah.
So basically, he double books himself. He talks to help me out here, head of Impact Creative and
Scott DeBoer.
Thank you. He talks to Scott. They smooth things over. Scott says, "You know what? Just go work the other event.
Yep.
It's fine."
Yep.
Cards sometimes are subject to change. No big deal.
Yep.
Because the storyline wasn't really that big.
Yeah.
So.
It wasn't like he no showed a world title match,
Right.
a la Chris Statlander Bar Wrestling.
Right. No. This is one of those things.
Is Chris Statlander back to being an alien? I've asked this twice now.
She's not.
I'm not.
Anymore.
I don't think she is
She's
at this
just-
time.
Well, but she just returned to replace Hikaru Shida,
Yeah,
who
she's-
apparently didn't realize she was injured. That was something that came as a shocker to Hikaru. But Tony decided to tell the world that she's hurt, even though she's not. And Hikaru was a little surprised by that, based on all the reports I was reading.
The reports are still half and half because apparently it was reported that she did get hurt working a Stardom America show,
Okay.
and then she says she wasn't. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's
it's a
it's
mess.
good.
It's a mess.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
it's
mess.
a
It's a mess.
Taya Valkyrie defeated Deonna Purrazzo to retain the AAA Reina de Reinas championship, their women's championship.
Yep.
Great match. Like I said, Deonna Purrazzo has been on a whole nother level since she left NXT.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
It's the only, to me, it's the biggest failure of Hunter was Deonna Purrazzo.
Yep. No, I agree.
Like I said, Taya would have worked in WWE. I was happy they released her. She is one of the better talents in the game, but I also find her insanely fucking obnoxious. So technically, I think she was the babyface in this match, and I can never get
And
behind her.
you got a picture with her.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's two very large reasons to get a picture with her.
Anyway,
Ace Austin defeats Trey Miguel to retain the X Division Championship.
Ace continues to be a very just solid competitor in the X Division.
First of all, Jay, welcome in. How's it going, brother? I think Ace Austin is becoming such a huge star in the fact that he has been willing to commit to Impact
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Because that dude could probably go get paid 1.5 mil anywhere else.
Yep.
And he's basically taking less to stay with Impact. I think that's awesome. He's been awesome for them.
You might think this is a bit odd, especially a lot of people that haven't watched it in a while. This might be the best the X Division's looked in years.
I mean,
It's
insane to think that, but it's true.
It's in a really good place right now. The X Division's in a really nice place.
And then
Yeah, it
also
is,
the
yes.
fact that Scott has just gone, I'm just going to integrate the women back into the X Division.
Yeah.
Has made it even better. Honor No More, Honor No More's Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Vincent, and Kenny King defeats Jay White, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, Chris Bay, and El Phantasmo. I believe it was El Phantasmo. I think it was El Phantasmo that got pinned.
Yep.
While Bullet Club is whole in its own way, that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart.
You're okay.
It just, I don't. Why they got to do that to God, man? There's
I don't know.
nobody realer than Gorilla, man.
Yeah. Where's the Rogue General in all this?
He sided with Jay. He sided with Jay.
Can't say he's not loyal.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
He's still the king, but I can't pledge allegiance to you. But listen, Eddie Edwards, somebody else who once again could have literally left the company years ago.
Yeah.
Has stayed loyal to them.
Yeah.
And I think even though they don't get the viewership that they deserve to get, he is the pillar for how to rebuild their future. And I think Eddie Edwards is absolutely phenomenal. Tasha Steelz beats Havoc to retain her Knockouts championship.
You've been really high on Tasha.
I've been high on Tasha Steelz since I first saw her in NWA.
Yeah.
And I said, Billy's got something with this women's division. Sienna, he was the one who brought the now AEW Women's Champion to America.
Yep.
And said, listen, come work in America. There's I think your style of pro wrestling can work so well, and we can build something special.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic happened, they had to me, I think the most special women's division on the planet, NWA.
It was trending.
Tasha, Sienna.
Wasn't Kiera Hogan?
Kiera Hogan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sienna's tag partner, I forget her name. She was actually in AEW for a short time.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I know this.
It's leaving me. Of course, AEW Women's Champion.
It's not Diamante.
No. AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa. I mean the Camille. I mean the women's division was so damn strong. Now they've lost a lot of those pieces.
Yeah.
They've been rebuilding it a little bit, but listen, Tasha Steelz is a superstar. I think she could be on Bianca Belair's superstar level.
Oh, okay.
If they got the eyeballs. That's how good I think she is. Your kids, while she's a heel, I think your daughter would love her. Tasha's great. Like I said, I think Tasha's phenomenal. And Havoc's great. By the way, Havoc is actually running through some indie dates. If she's coming to your town,
Oh yeah.
she's worth the $25 that
yeah.
you have to pay.
Oh yeah.
Go check out Havoc. She's
Oh.
amazing.
Fantastic.
I hope MAW gets her back for another match because I would love to see her in person again.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk to Dave.
We'll try to make it happen.
Yeah.
He's got a killer one coming up.
He
So
does,
the
yeah.
Briscoes beat Violent by Design to win so there are new tag team champions. Not shocked. I still think the dumbest thing Tony Khan has ever done is not been willing to fight for the Briscoes.
Yeah, no, he kind of just rolled over and died.
He
for
just
the,
kind of
TV
rolled over and
execs.
let it die. And you're telling me you can't use the Briscoes in that tag division?
Yeah, he could. You're an idiot, Tony.
But it is what it is. It's great to see the Briscoes.
And it does fall on you because at least Vince and WWE have had the wherewithal to kind of just be like, no, we wanted
Right.
to, but there's no way
Right.
this could happen. But Tony, for all intents and purposes, they're there's no reports that he's fought, and yeah, maybe there's no reports that Vince did, but you know that Vince looked at this and said, "This can work."
By the way, he didn't fight hard enough, because if he fights hard enough, they're on the roster,
Yeah,
and they should be on your roster. I get why WWE probably didn't bring them in right away,
100%. Yeah,
because they're trying to build younger and build through RK Bro.
yeah.
Anyway, banger match. I think Impact did put this one out first after the pay-per-view. Go find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Great match to watch.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And then Josh Alexander did retain the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, beating my guy, the Bulldog, Tomohiro Iraishi. This was a physical match.
This hurt.
I always say with Tomohiro from New Japan, if he comes up on a card with one of your favorite physical wrestlers, and you know people might not like a physical match, tell him to walk away.
This is gonna.
Because it's not gonna be fun to watch.
No, it's not.
These dudes smash each other. These dudes love to beat the hell out of each other. I might have to show up for that show. And I could not believe I can't believe Josh Alexander is standing after this match.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
When Impact puts this one, and I'll let people know when they do it. When Impact puts this one on YouTube, go find it. This was about 20 minutes.
You want to talk
of just men slapping meat.
You want to talk about maybe running into a fire was actually a safer thing?
Dude, not just any fire. The Sears Tower could be on fire, and I would run into it and have this match with Tomohiro Ishii. Like that dude says, if you can stand up at the end of the match, that's a win for you. But the fact when you can beat him, it's a double win for you. Love it. Between him and Minoru Suzuki, I mean, I've always said these two dudes they'll beat you to death if you let them. So, great pay-per-view.
Yep.
For those who don't know, the Sami Callihan return was after the championship match.
Yeah,
of course. Moose, still a big-time heel, comes out, tries to kind of, beat up Josh Alexander. And Sami Callihan returns, and I think it looks like Sami Callihan's first feud back will be with Moose.
Oddly enough, there was a real pop for Sami, unlike AEW can get for anyone that they decide to debut in the way that Sami did. Because y'all forget Mercedes Martinez walked in there, and she was fresh off WWE television at crickets. Anyway, as we move on, Leroy, you have something for us that is written in pen instead of typed out.
Well, I messed it up. A little day in history.
Okay.
So I had a couple little tidbits. I'll just.
We always love this.
All right.
Jesse gets very shocked by these.
Well, not really shocked. 30 years ago, the creation of AAA in Mexico.
Ooh.
Yes.
Top promotion throughout Mexico.
You said 30 years
It was,
ago, huh?
CMLL was there, and
CMLL is one of the oldest wrestling promotions still in existence in the world.
Yeah, that was in the 1950s, I thought.
Yeah.
Yep, AAA took over that pretty good, and stuff.
AAA basically turned around and became the WWE of Mexico.
Yeah.
CMLL does still exist.
So CMLL still puts on great shows, but AAA is the premier Mexican talent show right now.
Right.
And then your favorite guy, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, 27 years ago, has made his Raw debut. Very interesting. It's kind of a little fun tidbit.
27 years.
He was in the game for 20. I mean, listen, he meant so much to like me and so many others in pro wrestling. Yes, I was his biggest hater, especially as a teenager, and threw a beer bottle at him during his reign.
And
his reign of terror.
The fun part, he won against John Crystal and he used a standing cutter.
Yeah.
And then DDP had to talk to him and said, "Hey, you can't use that," because he didn't ask permission.
So
because it was a lot like the diamond cutter. So yes.
And that became a
Common
small
courtesy.
kerfuffle because technically Johnny Ace told him to use it.
Yeah.
As we know him as the Funk Man, who created the damn move in the first place. And then he was let known about the pedigree, which was a move technically that was invented in Japan.
Yeah.
And and yeah, the rest, as they say, is history. I was
Storied history.
I was as we watched the show together the second night of Mania. I was so damn sad to watch him leave his boots in the ring. Because like I told people, it's so weird being a Triple H diehard because most of the career you hated him.
Yeah,
There we go.
but again, you were supposed to.
Because he was doing his job.
Yeah.
Like I said, people were like, "Wait, you threw a beer bottle at him?" He might actually. I think he's talked about the story once. He doesn't remember me, but I was one of 3 people. So it was during the Booker T storyline. He goes to WWE New York. They shoot it, and for some dumb reason, they also used to have a restaurant in there. It's a
There
fucking
you go.
terrible idea because if you let New Yorkers drink, they drink.
Yeah.
And so
Have you seen their sports teams?
Well, they do that in Wisconsin
anyway,
too.
you're not going to bring that up. We're going to have a good year this year.
How the Mets doing?
So, well, I'm a Yankee fan.
That's
He's
fair.
a-
That's fair.
At least he did good for being a Yankees fan. Even though I slightly don't like you.
I
for
was
that.
I was brought to all the old games as a kid, so
There
I
you
kind
go.
of fell in love with the
Doesn't
war
matter
of it
where
all.
you're from. If you were able to see the old Yankee Stadium when it was at its peak,
Yeah.
you'd probably be a fan to yourself. It's,
Oh, yeah.
There's something about them pinstripes, folks.
And I just remember seeing an old Budweiser pot on the ground, and he's getting done with the interview, and there was a guy who shot it about his nose and shit. Well, later on, that guy, that same dude, is shot it like, dude, just admit you're effing racist, dude. And we hope Booker T whoops your ass. He said, well, listen, if I look like you, I would hope Booker T whoops my ass too. And of course, we boo him. And I look, and by the way, my dad whooped my ass when we got home. But I kind of grabbed the beer bottle. Now, I wasn't trying to whip it at his head.
No.
I was just trying to throw it at his feet,
Yeah.
and it went a little higher towards his knee. Security did throw us out, of course. And now it was crazy because, like I said, years later, I actually got to meet him, and I apologized pretty profusely. He was such a good sport; he literally laughed it off.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
But I was, 'cause, my dad was just like, he was a stupid freaking teenager. I beat his ass. Don't worry.
and I feel like your father had no problem.
He
saying
had
that
no
out loud.
problem whooping my ass for that because technically he was a cop for a long time. So he was like, well, technically they could throw you in jail. So I'm gonna just fuck you up when we get home.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's what I would do with my kid too.
You probably
Whip
should have gone to
his
jail.
ass.
You would have been safer.
right.
That's
Would've been.
true.
But it
That's
was
true.
And then, like I said, after that day of meeting Paul, this is a little later in his career.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I've told you this story. I sat back and I literally went, well, damn, man, like everything you've done in your career, everything you've given, I respect you, brother, because he's just a student of the game.
Oh yeah.
He's just So I love Triple H. Damn shame he had to retire, and damn shame the last match was that damn tag team debacle.
It happens.
But otherwise, yeah,
Sean has to eat that too.
and
There we
Sean
go.
still had enough to actually have an actual match.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, get 2 more bits,
Yeah.
and then we're done with that. We'll do an extra shout out because our buddy Darren Corbin.
Yeah.
His birthday was yesterday.
Yep.
It's not today.
So was his consultant.
And his he had a rough. His
His
consultant
consultant had a rough day.
stealing a horse.
Those voicemails.
Losing- Oh my!
Those
I-
voicemails will come back to haunt you.
He looked pretty rough too.
He did. Yeah.
No, Darren,
Definitely.
I gotta tell you, I think the guy deserves a raise.
He might. Yeah, I'm gonna have
I
to
know
suggest
Darren
that.
might not fully agree, but
Yeah, he might not. And then
yeah, I'm not gonna
I have to wish, and it's his birthday today, and I'm proud to say I got to meet this guy too. It is a happy 63rd birthday to WWE Hall of Famer Ron Simmons.
Ah.
hey, happy birthday, man!
Damn!
And all I gotta say is thank you for your career and damn.
I'm
One of the all-time greats, really is one of the also greatest college football players of all time. The only man that could wear a blue helmet and nobody was going to make fun of him.
And
for
I'm
it.
proud. I was so happy to say that I saw him at Women's of Nation 2, and me and Jason became honorary members of the Nation of Domination with him and D'Lo.
You're not actually in the Nation of Domination.
Hey,
You have an honorary.
My name works with it because my name is Leroy.
Yeah, but you're still just an honorary member. You're not a Packers season ticket holder. You just get that little thing that says.
Okay,
you're on
I'm
the
not
wait
that
list.
dumb.
That's all you are.
Oh yeah, I'm not that. dumb.
Anyway,
But yes,
big
I'm
shout
so
out
happy.
to Ron, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the business. We move on to finish up with a few things here out of the WWE. Jesse, are we gonna get unified tag belts? What are they doing? This is like dangling the worm to the fish. Happy fishing opener.
I have no fucking idea.
Rumor has it might, but then it said, hey, it might have a disqualification to end the match.
So first of all, for
I
those
could see that
saying
happening.
WWE falsely advertised, maybe, but you don't get to bitch about it. You just don't. Just don't. Because if you ever go to, as you know very well, and that's what it's the name of our show.
Yep.
Anytime you go buy a WWE ticket, as a matter of fact, there's one hanging up on the wall.
Yep.
It literally says
yes.
card
It's
subject to
it's-
change.
It's on the ticket.
Like it's literally on the
it's
fucking
It's literally
ticket.
on the ticket.
When you
yes.
go buy the ticket, when you go online and buy a WWE ticket, it literally says
It's there.
Card subject to change.
It's there.
They have legally put it in there. We have the right to change our motherfucking mind.
Yep.
He does all the time.
You're about to say he does it all the time.
He does it every
And
time.
I'll say this, Jesse, and I love you. This is not a bad comment because I have many friends that are of African descent, but he might change your mind more than you guys do because you guys will change your mind over a lot of things.
See, I'll change my mind over stuff, but not over this kind of stuff. Like when it's something like this, like once it's set in stone, we set it in stone.
Yes,
baby.
exactly. Yeah.
There's a plan in place. There's things to do that day.
Yeah.
I do think next week they will be either will happen next week or
Yeah.
will happen at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, a DQ to end the match, and then they'll do something to that. So
Yep. But you know what? At this point,
Roman is such a professional.
Yeah.
So, because here's the thing. So I love Matt Riddle, but sometimes Matt Riddle speaks out of both sides of his mouth and his ass.
he does.
And for those who don't know, about a year ago, Matt Riddle was just speaking in an interview, and he was talking about how he was like, "Oh, shut up, you're the tribal chief, blah blah blah. I could beat you up in real life, and blah blah blah." Now, this is not the first time he's done that.
No.
And by the way, in interview tone, he clearly did it in jest.
Yeah.
But it was apparently it actually did piss off Roman Reigns.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Roman had said hey, he needs to write in a fuck apology letter. Which if that's true, come on, man, you better grow up. Write me apology letter. Write me apology, bro. Just go handle that shit out in the back.
Yep.
Hey, what are you talking about, bro? Like, just handle it with him. What are you?
Yeah.
Some bitch shit. Anyway, apparently they're good to go, or they're professional enough to be good to go, because Matt Riddle hit that man with the most perfectly timed jumping knee I've ever seen.
That thing was on point.
Yes.
It was right in the jaw.
That was as on point as you can get. And may I also point out, this is the best work I've ever seen Sami Zayn do. It just has to be thrown in because...
See, we asked the question, are they going to unify the tag titles? That answer is obvious, yes.
Yes. The question is Sami Zayn...
Is Sami going to join the
Is
Bloodline?
Sami Zayn going to join... You know what? The only thing that would have made that better is if Sami Zayn would have somehow taped himself onto the shirt when he came out.
That would have been great.
That would have been the only thing there. But, Sami Zayn really has taken a conspiracy theorist gimmick.
Yeah.
And he has transitioned out of it.
Yeah.
But still kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And by God, do I love when I see Sami Zayn. Mostly because I'm just like, oh my God, Sami, what are you doing?
First of all, Sami is phenomenal.
I also love the fact that Pat's just like his new finisher is just running away. That's the funniest shit in the world.
Oh, yeah, on
It's kind of
SmackDown,
true.
It was so funny. He was like, hey, Michael, what are you talking about? That's his new finisher. Run away.
And before we move on to Backlash, I have one more question about SmackDown. Can Corbin ever be a face again?
Probably not.
Because
No.
people were legitimately he did not break kayfabe at all this
No.
past Friday. He broke that man's collarbone and did not give a shit.
He laughed about it.
Yes, he did.
That was bad.
That was bad, but
That
it
was bad.
looked good. Before we get to
I
back,
did see someone say, like, I got to be honest, besides what's the name winning on Sunday, this actually might be the best thing they've done with this feud.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because Corbin now legitimately like. You're like, okay, dude, you're a dick. Really? You
Yeah.
broke the kid's collarbone, you dickhead, really?
Yeah, no, he's yeah. But again, Jesse, you say yourself, Corbin could be that next big heel if they just keep this up because he can legitimately go in the ring.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he
Um,
definitely can.
So before we get to Backlash, because we all saw it together, it was a great time.
Yeah.
Slight hiccup with the technology,
Sure,
but it
sure.
happens.
Shit happens.
Jesse deserves
Also, reminder, I will put his podcast link in the description below.
Friends of the Squared Circle.
Yeah, Friends of the
Cal.
Square Sucker, our buddy Cal.
Yeah,
Go check him out.
Jesse was the MVP of the night. His arms were not happy with him afterwards.
You know
but
what? As long as we got to enjoy a show.
we got to
it's
enjoy
fine.
the show.
Yeah, he showed up, gave me $20 for the shirt, and then he told everybody, "Yeah, it's I'm his like younger brother. Can't you tell? It's his birthday." I'm like, "It is not my birthday." He's like 90. I'm like, "Shut up,
He texted me.
damn
that
you, Cal."
He texted me that he did that to you, and I did not discourage him from ever.
Nah,
doing it.
yeah.
Cannot say that I encouraged that future behavior, but
See,
I can confirm I did not discourage the
See,
future use
it's
of that
bad when he
behavior.
comes. He goes, "Yeah, that's my older brother." Can't you see him resumes? And he walks in. He's got a full beard just
Yeah.
like me. It's kind of hard not to say.
Yeah,
Well,
no, it
kinda.
works. All right, so we're gonna go around the table here. We'll start with Leroy since he put it up here. The Cody Rhodes report card so
Sure.
far. Leroy, you go ahead and start us off.
I thought I wanted to put that up there just because I know there's a couple people that don't like it.
Well, he's had his first title match, so now they're really starting to push him as a legitimate person. I mean, I knew straight up he was never going to win the thing because they have bigger at that price tag. You ain't winning the U.S. title. That's not
No.
That's not happening.
I think we'll probably do this report card later on after a few more months.
Yeah.
Closer to Survivor
Yeah.
Series because
We'll give him a midterm. How's that? We'll just give him a midterm.
Yeah, we'll do a
There we go,
midterm.
There we go.
But I thought just, being a month, I mean, I think it's doing good. I mean, he is loved and whatever he's doing, his promos are great.
In multiple towns, so they have proven that they can carry it through Texas.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's just, I love it. Some people are not happy because he's back, and it's like, whatever. I love his back.
He's over with that audience. That's all that Vince cares
Oh,
about.
God,
He's
yeah,
over with that
huge.
audience.
His music, I'm beginning to love his interest music.
Well,
But
that song's a banger.
Did you?
That song's an absolute banger.
Did
I
you
don't
see
care what anyone says.
the guy in the audience that dressed up like his dad and talked like him?
He loved
Oh
that
my God, that
moment
was so
so
awesome.
much, and the fact that that guy's impression was so spot on made him
It
just
was good.
absolutely burst out.
And you can
laughing.
see also me and that little kid that jumped a barrier to go talk to him.
Which I
At
thought
one of the
was so
show-
cute.
Cody.
It's so cute. You didn't get in trouble. You say, go back to your
Well,
parents. It's got to
to-
be smart.
To
But,
be
oh.
fair, Cody was not able to show this wonderful side of him in AEW because there's not a single child in the audience. But
I didn't mean to hiccup. I laughed too loud. It's funny because now there is more kids there, and I'm like, it's strange. It's almost like they listen to us.
yeah,
There
no,
we
it's
go.
true. It's really,
And they did that to prove me wrong or something.
yeah,
And he's,
yeah, no.
He's giving away his
Everyone always says
belt.
Jesse's the one that's always on the Reddit forum, so Jesse has all that insider information. So like maybe they should listen to the guy who always seems to be correct when he says, yeah, there's not a damn kid in that audience.
All of a sudden, like now we're months later, it's just like kids just start showing up
There
in
we
that
go.
crowd. I'm like, well, this is odd.
And
Yeah.
then it'd be fun.
And by the way,
to,
if anyone in AEW is listening, please drop us a like.
there
of
we
course.
go. There we go. I am.
I support their shit. Go ahead. Lee.
I am enjoying the Seth feud. When that ends, it's who is he going up against next? I would love AJ Styles. That'd be fun.
I think, and hear me out. I do think Miz doesn't have anything major going on right now. I do think a short one pay-per-view with Miz could be entertaining.
Let me make
That
this
would
very
be.
clear what's going to happen. First
Okay.
of all, he gets an A. They get an A. But it's not hard to give them an A when you're paying him $4.5 million.
Oh yeah, no,
He's a main eventer.
yeah,
Like I told you, he's a main eventer. You don't get that kind of contract and you're hanging around with the bums in the 24/7. Nah.
no.
He might interact once in a while, but that's it.
It'll just be a funny segment that in
Right.
reality he comes out the best in because that's just how it is. I mean, like, he might win the thing, but it's going to be an accidental victory, and he's just going to be like,
He's just gonna toss it like.
oh, I guess I have this now. Hey, guys. Hey, puppy, follow the bone. and just like throw it down a hallway.
So, number one, their booking of him has been fantastic.
Is it me? But side note, is the 24/7 booking actually getting slightly
It's
better?
been funny.
And that's okay to
If
be
you
funny.
remove yourself from a Cody-like mentality and just watch this, it is a fun
It's
segment.
actually really funny.
Yeah, it's actually.
But
it's a
yeah,
good time.
they've booked him really well. I clear, by the way, which I said after the pay-per-view, we were watching it together. I told everyone in the room, like, well, clearly this is going to Hell in a Cell. Excuse the hiccups. I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm not giving him beer anymore.
It's not even the beer.
Oh,
It feels like I laughed too loud and it just happened.
Yeah.
But clearly they're going to finish this feud up at Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
I actually don't think there will be another feud after this because remember, after this pay-per-view is Money in the Bank.
Yes.
I think he's going to win Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Now, at the show, and it's clear that's how they're promoting Money in the Bank now because we were thrown off when they were talking about how, two superstars, a woman and a male, have a chance to win a main event match at Mania. We're like, wait a minute, the whole concept of Money in the Bank is that they can cash in at any time.
Yeah.
Like I told people, I don't think that's going away.
No.
But I do think it's very interesting for them to now throw that out as another reason for them to win this thing.
Well, but it's always been a reason. But the problem is the only person who ever took advantage of it was Ken Anderson. But then obviously they gave it to Edge,
Right.
and Edge did what he did.
Because like I
with it.
tell people, Seth really doesn't fully count as far because he cashed in.
He just
at
cashed in
WrestleMania.
at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
which, by the way, was an on-the-fly thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think. I think he woke up that morning thinking, "I'm just going to watch Mania," and then the heist of the century happened.
Well, I think they informed him that day, like, hey, we're gonna actually let you go ahead. And
No, I'm just saying that he woke up thinking.
Oh, yeah,
that-
yeah.
thinking he was probably just going to watch it.
Right,
And then the
right.
heist of the century ended the night. Yeah.
because that was a nice way to kind of get Brock off of TV.
Yeah.
And this and that. So with that said, it's the real question is what happens after to what I think will happen. He wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
That'll be the question because so far they're trying to keep him away from Roman, and rebuilding Drew is a good way to do that.
Yeah. And Drew's looked very good.
Yeah.
He has.
Now,
Usos.
how long can you do that for?
Usos, don't go after the sword. Don't do that. That's Bianca Belair hair level. You don't.
All I'm saying is that man, they let that man, or they didn't let him, he just did it. He kind of cut 2 ropes.
Yeah.
So that thing is actually sharp. By the way, apparently, that's an actual prop from Vince's office.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I did not know
They said
that.
that way back when
We-
he first got it. He actually admitted in an interview. It was a
Oh.
present from Triple H and Stephanie that Vince used to have in his office. And then when Drew came back, they were like, you know what? We're going to give you a sword.
See, I didn't know that.
We're just going to turn you into Braveheart, basically.
Jesse, I give him crap not paying attention. I did say that on our show.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you weren't paying attention.
I'm not going to say at you and yeah, because that's not true.
No.
That's it. You just
I'm just a forgetful.
you
son
really
of a bitch.
missed on that day.
Yeah,
'cause,
I
yeah.
just.
Yeah.
I
I'm a
did
forgetful son of
put
a
that out
bitch.
there saying yes.
But I listen. He's a megastar. They're doing the right thing, like trying to keep him away from Roman.
Now I'm going to give this a solid A. And here's why. I have to grade on a curve because of what he was, and this is not me once again taking a shot at the guys down in Spot Monkey. This is legit. You had this guy. This is a transgression that you have to be called out on. You screwed this up, Tony Khan. You screwed this up, AEW. This is not me doing anything that's going to be laughable or blah, blah, blah. This isn't pot shots. This is legit. You screwed this up. And it's not me bringing them back up for ratings or anything. If we have to talk about him so far, we have to talk about where he came from. We have
Right.
to do the comparison.
Yep.
You guys had this guy. He got the Rhodes family name. You did nothing. He became a 3-time TNT champion. it meant nothing because now Sammy's the next one, and Sammy's just kind of flopping around like a dead fish.
Sammy's a whore, but that's
Soon to be dead fish.
yeah.
But I think you have to look at it that it's a curve that was set very low because you guys had him for 3 years. And you let the fans not see him as a star. One thing Vince has done from the moment he debuted at WrestleMania to the moment that we're at where he might win Money in the Bank
Right.
is not for any moment has Cody been anywhere near anyone except for a guy who can get anything over in Miz and Seth, who is going to give you that illusion in WWE that wrestling still matters, even though it's entertainment. Again, Vince admitted this years ago. Don't get angry. It just is what it is.
Right.
But now we have to look at what his report card was before this because all I have to do is say 2 words. Jade Cargill. Debut. 3 words. That was the moment that Cody Rhodes was made irrelevant to your audience. Because that was the first time that Cody was involved in what I can call true bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, looking back on it, it's not her fault. You gave her nothing. It should have been a Cody's having an affair thing, but Brandy was gone, and Red Velvet was there, and now Red Velvet is friends with her, even though they had a rivalry 3 years ago in a match with Shaquille O'Neal. Basically, again, all true. I'm not making this shit up. But the thing is that you're looking at this on a curve because, folks, from the moment Jade Cargill came out and basically rapped and said, "I've looked for you in bars, I've looked for you in cars," that happened. He's laughing because it's true.
He did try to Dr. Seuss his way in and out.
I was just
of
saying
that.
that was a Dr. Seuss moment.
Yeah,
There, definitely.
and by the way, he tried so hard. If you go back and watch that thing, it never stops being cringy, but watch him, not her. He's literally telling her, "Let's get this over with." But at the end of the day, you guys have to eat the fact that you had the same guy.
Yeah.
He's doing the same shit.
Yeah, yes.
But you never gave him any production behind it. You gave him nothing. And by the way, Tony Khan, you sided with the Cucamonga kids. You sided with the Young Cucks. You sided with Matt and Nick. You said, "You're my guys." Even though you don't exist unless Cody says you basically say hi.
Right.
You don't get to the level that you get to in the wrestling world without the Rhodes family name. You don't.
Right.
You don't get the legends that are there without the Rhodes family name. DDP is a huge Rhodes family guy. He ain't there unless Cody says be there. Guys, you could have done this, but you decided to go with the guys who inflated your ego and didn't tell you what was wrong with what you were doing. Cody Rhodes is on a curve because when you go back and look at it, the delusion was because he didn't know what he was doing week to week. The delusion was probably a Funky Love situation where they were hyping him up in AEW, but they weren't giving him anything.
Right.
Funky Love will hype up anything Vince says, and then they don't execute it.
Right.
The point is that he had to work with such, and again, he had to work with such underneath talent who someday could be the top of this business.
Right.
But in that moment, they were students.
Right.
They were kids.
Right.
Anthony Ogogo was a rising star that you gave up on, even though he did have the surgery. I get that. He wasn't long for the world of wrestling.
Right.
But you are the reason that Cody Rhodes had to work with people who were not ready for this.
No.
And now, like Jesse reported, it's basically the same contract with a little extra money because Vince is willing to bump that up.
Right.
And what's happening? It's star after star after Miz is a star because he can get anything over.
This is a 2-time fucking WWE champion.
Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
Grand Slam.
Miz.
Well, he also won the WWE.
yeah,
title,
exactly.
so I see.
Miz is like the Paul Heyman of the active roster. He
Sure.
can get anything over he wants.
Sure.
He has worked with a star in Seth Rollins, who is at ultimately maybe Seth's peak of his creative power that he's ever
Right
had.
now, yeah.
He has interacted with Austin Theory, who, if nothing, is not on television every week.
Right.
He has had moments where he's been given the big entrance. Whether or not you think it's ever going to be shoved down your throat or not, he's presented as a top guy. And AEW, I don't care if you gave Cody the long, big entrance. From the moment he got to the ring, he averaged 6 words before he was interrupted by people who were not ready for television, by
Right.
people he should have never been close to. These people should have been in the mid-card. They should have been on Dark. They should have been... Cody Rhodes should have never worked with half the people that he worked with in AEW.
I agree.
There we go.
And that is why, yes, it's on a curve, but it's a curve that, sadly, you need to be aware of, AEW, because you got another one right now that you're giving shit to, and he's going to walk in and get the same reaction because Vince McMahon knows nothing if not, okay, I'm paying this guy. I don't care what the fans think. I'm going to give him this,
Right.
and the fans will decide what to do with it. But what's weird to me is that the WWE audience, from the moment he walked in, and I don't think it's a Homer thing because there's not a lot of Homer WWE fans
Sure.
left, in my opinion. I don't think it's, oh, he's one of ours, we got one over you. They didn't care he was in AEW.
No.
They cared that he made himself into a star,
Right.
and he was coming back to fulfill the legacy that Dusty never did.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon deserves an A. Cody deserves an A. Everyone producing this deserves an A because you literally just took the model that AEW had and you didn't do it.
Right.
There we go.
Because again, Jesse pointed this out. You ain't making that kind of money to run around with 24/7 people. You might randomly end up in the background of one of their stupid skits.
Right.
But here's the deal. There is a way to present a star. And sadly, Jesse, this is where we disagree on Kenny outside of New Japan,
Okay.
is while his reign is still the best reign they've had because
Sure.
the bar is not high,
Yeah.
Jesse, he wasn't working with the right talent.
No, not even close.
Kenny Omega was working with Jungle Boy back when no one gave a shit about Jungle Boy.
It's true.
He did not make Jungle Boy.
No.
Cody made Austin Theory that night.
Yeah.
Austin Theory can ride that wave for 3 months.
Right.
And
And-
probably 2 pay-per-views.
Right.
And Ezekiel too.
Ezekiel as well. And Elias could ride the wave when he comes back.
There we go.
Um,
Yeah.
But anyway,
No comment.
Well,
I miss Elias. I mean,
Yeah.
I should talk to Ezekiel and see how he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just ask Kevin Owens about Elias. We'll just see how that goes.
Well,
yeah,
he's a little
exactly.
upset about
but
that.
but just
You can ask him or his brother.
You know, I might ask both Kevin and his brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his dad's on Dark.
Yeah.
Oh
That
God,
was a
yeah.
great poster, by the way.
Well, that's a great
But
poster.
but it's just not to get long-winded on this, but it is legitimately worth mentioning because again, I feel like people don't want to insult the other company, but this is a moment where you need to understand your transgressions will not go unnoticed on this show.
There we go.
You fucked this up.
I think more. I think more and more people are. Like I said, I think everyone's like, "Yo, we're past almost a 3-year point here, 3 to 4 year point. There's no more passes. A lot of this should have gotten cleaned up already.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this should have gotten cleaned up.
Cody Rhodes, until we get towards the end of this deal and Cody's just out the door, or until Cody wants to be done.
Right.
Because it's weird. Cody has not said a damn word about Georgia Senate runs.
No.
He hasn't talked about becoming a movie star.
No.
This is all he wants to be a part of.
Right.
It's amazing what Vince will make
Also,
you
the
forget
fact.
about.
So apparently they are working to sign her, the wife,
Brandy.
but she's nowhere near her husband.
Oh, God, no.
It's just smart.
Oh, God, no.
It's just smart.
Because it'll never happen. But my point is this, Jesse.
You were gonna go get
My
pizza
doorbell's
real
ringing.
quick.
Yep. Yeah. But see, Jesse, was it long-winded or was it worth mentioning that you have to acknowledge that for 3 years you had the... Because, Jesse,
Right.
this is the same character.
Right.
He's doing nothing different except for
Right.
someone is looking at him and saying,
Right.
"Don't do that as a promo."
Right.
Cody Rhodes is not that hard of a character to play, but WWE's just like, dude, just don't fucking overthink it.
Well, I think the big thing is like, well, here's the thing. In AEW, what actually really happened with the character was the fact that the fans had turned on the character before the character had a chance to really breathe.
Yeah.
They wanted him to go heel so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Not realizing that was never his thought when they started the company.
Right.
I thought the second biggest thing, and it was his own decision, but it is a sin of Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Never allow him to take himself out the world title picture.
Yep.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Yep.
That was a terrible way to think you were going to build new stars.
Which, by the way, is also the biggest mistake. Of
All
any...
Kenny proved was if done wrongly, you can bury new
Well,
stars.
but see, Jesse, that's the biggest issue, in my opinion, of every new company. If you can get an established star signed,
Right.
use him.
Right.
Make him the guy until you build somebody else.
Right.
Because remember, TNA doesn't get off the ground whether you like it or not,
Right.
Jesse, without Jeff Jarrett being Jeff Jarrett.
I agree. If he's not the king of the mountain persona, no one cares. So
Whether or not you thought Jeff Jarrett was a main eventer in WWE was irrelevant to the success of TNA
Right.
and the NWA relationship.
Right.
Jeff was the biggest star any of them had at that moment.
Right.
And he was worthy of what he was doing.
Right.
But the thing about it is that Tony didn't understand that you need to look at the star and say, no. You're going to go be so great that I can develop these guys on the down low, and then they come and take your spot.
correct.
But the problem is that Cody Rhodes has had one thing missing from that entire great run that you loved after he left WWE the first time. He was missing someone to tell him no.
Yes.
Because Gato really didn't say no because they weren't doing much in New Japan. It was kind of a spot thing.
I was gonna say his run in New Japan was very light.
Yeah,
He was Bullet Club ROH.
yeah,
That's what he was.
yeah.
Yes, he was and near the end. Of course, they did the Kenny storyline
Yeah.
in New Japan and stuff like that. And that was, but here's the thing. That only worked because Kenny was working face,
Yeah.
and Cody was working heel, and it really did allow the quote unquote separation of Bullet Club from
Yeah.
the Elite. And so that actually helped both guys as far as telling that story.
Yeah.
But once they were in AEW, it literally, like I said, it made no sense that Kenny was this vagabond character. There was no fucking need for it. And then,
Bum-ass Corbin was better than Bum Kenny. It just was.
well, because Bum Corbin made sense.
Yeah, exactly.
They made him go lose all those matches.
And then lose all his money.
Yeah, like, it was just brilliant.
Kenny was still making six figures reported, still had executive power, and yet was going out there looking like you or me on a freaking Friday night.
Which made no sense.
Yeah.
So here's my biggest thing when it comes to those.
Oh, and by the
things.
way, the audience of AEW, you could have had this.
They turned on him though.
But Jesse, they turned for nothing other than, again, they want you to be full on full AEW. They want you in. You are a ride or die kind of person.
Right.
But the second you start to think about yourself and what you want,
Right.
they hate you. The toxicity of that. Here's the deal. I know they turned on him, but they turned on him for the wrong reasons.
They really did. They really just turned on him because he wasn't like.
Because he was willing to admit, I've got other shit going on.
There's other shit he wanted to do.
Whereas that died in WWE when Rock went to do Scorpion King.
Well, here's the thing. If you're a fan of WWE, your whole thought is, well, at some point, maybe this guy wants to go do this. This guy wants to go do this. So we probably only have them for a 2 or 3 year run in what they're doing.
The problem with CJ Perry was you weren't any good while you were there, so you wanted to go do something else. We didn't care about you to begin with.
Why are you bringing our show down, Zach? We were doing so good.
We
and
were.
You had to bring the
we
show
were.
to the basis of hell.
The
Like
female Ryback.
It's
yes.
like it's literally right at the base of hell.
Yeah,
CJ Perry.
it's pretty close. But
Here's the thing. I think what WWE has shown, and what they always show,
Yeah.
is that they know how to keep a person a star and make them a bigger star.
And by the way, you know as well as I do, Funky Love is not let very well, like very close to Cody Rhodes.
Not a chance in hell.
No.
Not a chance in hell.
Funky Love does not have a lot of input with the Cody Rhodes.
That's a
situation.
lot of him, Vince, and whoever he's working with.
Whichever producer they assign,
Right.
and it ain't Funky Love.
Right.
Thank God.
But he's a guy who's earned that, fortunately for him.
Yes.
Where a lot of the under talent, unfortunately, will not.
Can you imagine Funky Love going to Roman and telling him what he's gonna do?
No. Not a
It's
chance.
never gonna happen.
That's what he would do. Laugh. and
Yeah.
say, Whatever.
Yeah.
Full of shit.
These guys, these guys they don't even belong at the kiddies table. These guys, Vince.
Yeah. Anyway, so no, I think we all agree. So far, the midterm is A's all around.
Yeah.
We obviously have different ways of grading. Mine, once again, I just wanted to make sure that I showed my work, which was it had to be on a curve because the curve was low.
Whose idea was this to do the report card, by the way?
That was Leroy.
Oh, I just whipped it out there. Thank you.
I would think it was this dickhead.
Oh, no. He ain't
Yeah.
that smart. Oh.
That's his whole thing. He has to be the smartest guy in the room.
He may be a smart ass sometimes.
Well, but to be fair, if I did it on a curve, maybe I was actually being nicer to Cody than you. You guys held him to a higher standard. So how exactly am I the bad guy for allowing the curve? You just flat out came out with the A.
I came out with the A because I knew where he came from. Where he was actually the second. As far as people in charge, he was number 2 for the longest time,
Yeah.
and then inexplicably had his power taken away for booking smart wrestling.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. That was the part that I never understood. What exactly did Cody do that allowed you to just take away the power of that guy? I get the Bucks. No one questions why he took power away from them.
Should have did that immediately.
You should never give it to him in the first place.
Should have never given Kenny power to go book the women's division.
Yeah. So many reasons we could talk about that. Anyway, we are now on to. We saw it on the big screen, and I hope to see more shows on that big screen because it was
Yes.
lovely.
That was awesome.
Yeah, when the kids aren't in school like that,
when the kids get old enough to just put themselves to bed, you should come join us, which should only be a few more years.
Well, yeah, but they enjoy the pay-per-view. So during the summer and stuff, he has one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the kids will be like.
Oh, and by the
stoked
way,
for that.
Cal, wonderful spread. You did a
Yeah.
great job. Really made us feel.
Yeah.
Together. I'm thinking about just getting myself like a big inflatable chair
Yeah, actually, that might not be a bad
because
idea.
there's plenty of room in the cafeteria. To
I
do
mean,
it.
there was so much room in there, and
Yeah.
hopefully, as long as things continue to go well, I'll let you guys all in on a little secret. The hope for me and Cal is that we can stream out of there. So we'll see.
Fantastic! Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, so
Throw
now
like
we get.
throw full watch parties where people can come pay and
Yeah.
watch with us. And
Now-
stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be
Now,
fun.
the majority of the wrestling world had no hype for it. They were not excited about it, mostly because it was a WWE pay-per-view. This pay-per-view exceeded my expectations.
I was
and
about
ended
to
up
say it was
being
kind
really
of
good. It was
Backlash
really,
is always a rematch pay per view,
yeah.
but this time it was actually a really good
It-
rematch pay per view.
It was a lot of
It
fun.
was,
yeah.
Leroy, please go ahead and
All
and
right,
read that off.
and it's good, and I do it.
There are a few points that Jesse did say during the show. I'm going to go off about this, and I'm like, yes, sir, I know.
Oh, yeah.
There
First
were a couple
match,
of points.
it was a 20-minute match here, which I didn't realize it. Cody Rhodes did defeat again Seth frickin' Rollins by pinfall.
This was a different match than WrestleMania.
Yes.
I didn't know how they were going to do it, but this was a completely different match, and I loved it.
because
it
it was basically
so well done.
Cody Seth has studied Cody deeply now
Yep.
in these last month.
There were some counters in there.
Right. Cody understood that and kind of did some studying clearly of his own. A lot of great back and forth. Seth ended up taking the lead in the match because he's watched and learned so much because he is Seth freaking Rollins.
Yep.
I thought usually I hate the roll up finishes, but in this case it worked.
And
Yeah.
and I said it in the moment. It's not a heel tactic if it's a babyface retaliating.
Right, because the heel did it first.
This was a retaliation.
And it was like the Eddie Guerrero thing. The babyface did it to get back at the heel for doing it and actually did it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
so
we go.
so trust me, so folks, and luckily the internet seemed to have gotten it.
Right.
if he'd done this spot in AEW, the internet would have blown up and said, "Oh, the heel turn's coming." No, that's not how this works.
Right.
This, I don't know what it is. Jesse said this back when Cody was in AEW. You felt that Cody had no wrestling intuition. I don't know what coma he's come out of.
I don't think it was. I didn't think he had wrestling intuition. It was it didn't feel like any of them had a feel for what they were trying to do in matches.
Okay.
And like they weren't able to tell the stories maybe he wanted to tell, and I mean really it's just about who he was working with when you think about it.
That's fair. Nothing against QT Marshall as like an indie guy, but
that match was fine.
yeah,
but like
the
the
match was
Anthony
okay.
Ogogo one,
He did fine for what a go-go could do
right.
at that point.
I mean, actually, him and Moxley didn't have a big feud at all, but
no, that was pretty short.
him and Jericho, like that was a good match, but like it was so WWE average
Yeah,
because it was a WWE style match
yeah.
that I was just like meh.
But no. I loved it. It was really good, and like I said, it was actually a different match.
Right.
Yeah, great
Which is
match.
so hard to find when guys do what they did at WrestleMania. They try to redo the same spots.
Right.
You really didn't think about the WrestleMania match except for them bringing it up.
And this whole thing seemed to be built off of, learning from what happened at Mania.
Yeah, you felt it too.
Right.
Your
Yep.
thoughts, Leroy?
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that. I loved the match. It was great. Looking forward to the third and final rubber match as they like to do all
Seth-
the time.
Seth, you know what? Seth is one of those guys. He's so good at what he does. When he gives a guy 3 straight, it means something. And
definitely.
Right.
And I think that Seth is just never going to do it, but he's going to snap and go on to something else, and it's going to be great.
There we go.
Right.
Because there's no point in, if you're going to build Cody to what you think they're going to build him to, there's no point in Seth getting one back. It just
Well, I
doesn't
was
make-
going to say, he's not going to get one in the last match.
No.
No. If they would have done it, they would have done
They would have did it
They would
on
have done this.
Sunday.
They would have
Yeah.
done it here, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next was Omos defeating Bobby Lashley by pinfall.
We actually thought this was good in the moment.
It was good in the moment. Then I went back to rewatch it. He's still a little greener than goose shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now Bobby's has done a great job with him. I think the cage match should be really fun.
Yeah.
But man, Omos is green. It's still a little green, man.
Yep.
Like I said, Vince has this obsession with big dudes, and
This obsession with giants.
sometimes they're just not ready.
Yep.
And
I prefer his other obsession with blondes, but that's me.
that one I'm half and half on, because if he would have continued with that, the CJ Perry would have been Raw Women's Champion, and I think
Twice.
I might have considered
Maybe.
killing myself. But yeah, I when I watch it again, I went, well, thankfully Bobby's carrying this thing, because
Yeah.
anybody else, this probably feels like a slop fest.
Is it me, or is this feud really shown the growth of Bobby Lashley?
Well, Bobby
Oh,
Lashley's been
definitely.
excellent for a long time.
Well, no, never denying that, but the growth of him to be the leader of a segment.
Well, sure.
Because remember, MVP kind of really helped the Almighty situation. Bobby worked with a lot of other guys.
Right.
Armando Alejandro Estrada
Estrada.
really worked with Umaga in that
Yeah.
situation. So there's always been someone to push Bobby. Bobby's kind of pushing the sled right now.
Yeah. And I mean, by the way, selling like a madman for Omos helps too. So
Yeah.
it was still good. It
Yeah.
was still good. Probably the weakest match on the card, though.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Could have
Next.
been a hell of a lot worse, though.
Man, like I said, I watched it again, and I'm like, it's definitely the weakest match. But man,
See, formerly one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Jay Lethal, with a former Dallas Maverick. Anyway,
There we go. All right. Now
which by the way, they've even pretty much given up on, because they're barely doing that even on Dark now. Boy, that was a rough one go.
go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Also with Damian Priest banned from ringside,
Yep.
Edge defeated AJ Styles, and then because of that, because Damian was in, we found a new member of the
No problem
Judgment.
no
faction.
problem with the match.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to get into.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Tell her to wear black slacks.
Yeah.
Why did she come out in her ring gear?
The minute, okay, no, Leroy, you were not there. The second I mentioned that, Jesse was hot.
Yeah, I
Because
did.
I saw it right away. I'm like, damn it, you gave it away before you even unveil her.
Yeah.
She's borrowed Damien's pants like 4 times. Just do it one more time.
Right. Like, is it that damn hard to be like, hey, go wear some black pants? I mean, everyone's expecting her to join. They're clearly leading to this moment. Just, hey, can you just go wear some black pants, Rhea?
Thank you, though, to Beth Phoenix for once again keeping kayfabe.
She does a great job on Twitter.
I remember when somebody commented on Facebook like, "Oh, Edge is gonna cheat again." I'm like, first of all, you don't cheat on that woman because she gonna make
She
sure
gonna
you pay
kick
for
your
it.
ass.
You will pay if you cheat on that woman. And number 2, Beth is as professional as they come. She
Right.
gets it.
Right.
She knows how to do this. But yeah, no, folks. Edge, first of all, loves that woman and those girls.
Right.
And second of all, she's as big as Edge.
But she could probably bench press Edge.
He got his return reps in
Right.
with her.
Right.
Yep.
She's bigger than
Because
Catch.
she really
Yep.
she retired in her prime basically.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, banger match.
Yep.
Once again, really telling a story of these two learning from the WrestleMania match.
Yep.
It's just this time AJ was distracted by Rhea. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I thought this was great shit. I did find the Damian Priest thing, because some people were like, wait, he was banned from ringside. To be fair,
He never got.
He
him.
was never on ringside.
before Finn attacked him,
He was not at ringside.
he was on the ramp.
He was.
He wasn't ringside.
Yep.
He can be on the ramp.
Yep.
He's not ringside.
Yep.
I know it's a technicality.
But the details that. But the details that always follow an Edge situation.
I know.
And by the way, folks, I'm going to say it live on the show for the first time. It's a combination, amalgamation, and an upgrade of everything Edge has been
It's
from
an
day one.
amalgamation from all his characters.
So what you
Oh,
have
yes.
to understand is that while it's coming off in a brood way, the like the hockey insults, Edge used to do that all the time when he had Lita. So what you have to understand is that it's a combination of everything. So
Right.
there's gonna be little hiccups here and there
Right,
of everything.
right.
So don't go looking for brood when it's only supposed to be like 1/18 the character.
There we go. Yeah.
At this point, I'm waiting for a joke about Rob Zombie.
It'll happen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might. All right. Next one up was a lovely I Quit match with Ronda Rousey tapping out Charlotte Flair, saying I quit, and oh my God.
Although you still want to make sure that Ronda Rousey never is allowed a microphone again. You enjoy the in-ring work.
Let me be very clear. Number one, the match is phenomenal.
It was a very good
They
match.
kept it professional, which I
They,
didn't.
they actually kept it professional.
I was scared. There were some moments where I'm like, this is getting a little chippy.
because thank God Charlotte Flair's going to go away for a while. She should. Just go be with your man. who will-
Congratulations on the soon-to-be wedding.
Possible
but
marriage, yep.
Hey,
You
you
don't
know
need
what?
to be-
This is best for you and your man. He gets to get out of a stairwell. You get to get out of yourself.
There you go.
Jesus. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the Lord's name, but Jesus help this Mexican man, because he is failing his career on so many levels.
Well, he has to get in the arena before he can actually have a
I
career.
still have two problems
true.
with this.
Okay.
Number one, Charlotte, if you're selling a broken fucking arm, why are you grabbing the rope with it? That's why she needs to go away.
Yep.
Number two, I'm glad we got this over with Ronda, and now she's a champion. But Jesus Christ, please go to Vince McMahon's office and tell him to get her a manager. I cannot listen to this woman talk, Leroy.
I
don't
There's a
know
lot of
what
people-
happened. So I found the promo of her against the Bellas again.
Yeah.
It's probably her last great promo in the company.
Yeah.
Besides when she kind of turned heel before the triple threat match.
Yeah.
All of us, because she just got to tell her feelings about wrestling fans, which, by the way, was very ugly.
So some of it kind of factual though.
I'm not saying some of it wasn't factual.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very ugly thing to say when without them you wouldn't be getting paid the salary.
I
you're
agree.
getting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because also them selling out your merch like they were doing. Like,
That's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true. She was a top 3 merch seller.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm Very happy with the result. Very happy Charlotte's going to go away for a while because I think doing what she's been doing has started to poison her mind.
Here's the deal. It's really weird, but first of all, we gave her a lot of credit for like handling stuff with Bianca
And I still give her credit.
and Tony. But the problem is that I hate to say this, where was she right in the Becky situation?
Like I said, she was right in two things with the Becky stuff. Number one, it shouldn't have been Becky. It should have been Bianca.
Yep.
That was a better story to tell.
Yep.
And having, because Charlotte was willing to also lose to Bianca on SmackDown to really push Bianca, and Becky disagreed, which was Becky trying to protect herself, which is fine. I get it. But the powers that be should have listened to Charlotte because she was right on that.
Yeah.
To hell with Becky's anger. Who cares?
Yeah.
And the other part was this. You know, she has gotten a really huge head since that moment with Nia Jax.
I agree.
Like, she's still a sweetheart.
Yeah.
She really is. And I still root for Becky internally, for her success. But, boy, she started just talking crazy shit on that run about, like, what kind of a star she is. It's like, well, you're not there yet. Can you calm down a little bit? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But everything else, she was wrong with Becky.
Yep.
Unprofessional to do that during the transitional championship thing. Absolutely unprofessional to
I did see that. Yeah.
to overfight.
Aaron posted it on Facebook.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
saw that more.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
To try to actually fist punch her during a brawl, like, she was wrong on a lot of that, but a lot of the backstage shit in between all that, she was right about. But the problem is she was because I think she knew she was correct. She acted like an ass sometimes. In the ring. It was a bit unprofessional in the ring with the other women who didn't deserve that.
Yeah, I think if anyone has ever needed some time off to sort of look back at it from a different perspective, it's Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, definitely. I did love how they. I loved it when she's like, "Are you quitting?" No, I'm glad you didn't say that, bitch. And then twists his arm even more. That was cool. All right. Then we had a good old singles match after that where Madcap defeated Mr. Happy Corbin by pinfall. I thought it was a good match.
You know what? We were saying in the moment, this had no business really.
It was really good.
We were highly entertained by this match. The whole room was.
Madcap's quite funny now that he's a face.
I'm telling you, they saved the jokes for when
apparently
he went face.
Baron Corbin's still an unlikable douchebag, and I love that in pay-per-views they actually allow Pat McAfee to call him an unlikable douchebag.
Yeah.
The character, anyway. It was entertaining.
I enjoyed the show.
I really had no problems with this match.
And
then the surprise win at the end I thought was great.
Because I think a lot of us thought that Corbin was going to somehow sneak this out, and
Right.
all of a sudden it happened, and we were all of a sudden like, oh,
Like what it is, we were like, oh God, what?
okay, yeah, it's good.
Definitely a good match.
This was
Even the crowd seemed to be pleasantly surprised. Like, well, damn, okay.
these are the type of matches where just at some point, just let yourself enjoy the show.
Right.
There's no war. There's no who's my favorite. Just get lost in these two guys' story
There we go.
for 5 minutes.
All right. And then the last match of the night was the 6-man tag with the Bloodline getting the win over Drew and RK.
If not for this match, then Cody and Seth would have been the best match of the week.
But this was phenomenal. You can't get mad that you missed out on a world title match or a tag team unification match when you got that.
I know. Oh my! I loved it.
Removed anything that I questioned about the subject.
And a reminder that I've been right about Drew McIntyre. Still a main eventer. Listen.
Yep.
You want Leroy? He just talked about Charlotte getting a big head for being right. For about 20 minutes after after this match, Jesse was a little big-headed because he was like, "I've been saying this shit."
Because everyone's
I
like,
know.
why is Drew fighting Corbin all of a sudden? This is so mid-card. I'm like, he's still a main eventer, though. They
Yeah.
still treat him like a main eventer. I think we have forgotten this. Just because he did the really cool feud with Sheamus, he's still a main eventer. Listen, man. And by the way, Sheamus has been doing some of his best work the last 2 years.
Yes.
We literally were so sports entertained by this thing. So I went back to watch it a second time. No flaws. I couldn't find anything I disliked in this match. By the way, once again, I was right. Who would take the pin and the loss?
You were?
But I could see that coming from a mile away. I'm like, well, he's not going to beat Randy because Randy might actually get a title shot in the future. But him beating Riddle doesn't hurt Riddle, makes Riddle kind of look strong for even taking the fight to all three of them like that for a minute. This is tag team wrestling at its finest.
Yes.
And three
Totally
of those
agree.
guys are not primarily tag team wrestlers.
Yes. Yes.
It was so good.
I would say literally 4 out of 6 because
Right.
Riddle's not really a tag team.
No. It's just so damn great. Chemistry, great. Timing, perfect.
That's the thing. Even the in-ring, if you hated this, then you're an AEW smark because this was good.
It was great.
Yeah.
This
Oh yeah.
was so well done. Once again, Riddle can he have a bad match?
I don't think he can.
The dude can just go with
I
anybody.
don't think he can have a bad match.
It's-
This was excellent. This was excellent.
It was fun. Wrestling is meant to be watched with other people around.
It, by the way, makes it better. It really
Yeah.
does.
You should always try to get a watch party for a pay-per-view.
Well, like I said,
yeah.
we'll have to figure out the summer for you and the kids because you guys got to come to one of these.
Yeah, it was so
Oh,
much
we
fun.
definitely
it was
should
so
be able
much
to.
fun.
It was just absolutely fun.
But yeah, it was. Man, it was so damn good. It was so good. I literally. It took me a minute, like after watching it the second time, to remember, like, yeah, like, you're absolutely right. I said 2 of these guys, but yeah, 4 of the 6 guys really aren't tag team wrestlers. But this was excellent tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally was. Totally.
This is the
was.
kind of shit, by the way, you would see in New Japan, like when they put on 6 men, like
With a
it's-
lot of the big names
yeah,
and everything,
it's just,
yeah.
it's just boom, 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 boom. Great storytelling, great spot putting. Like you're just like, oh shit, and then you get done, and you're like, that was 22 minutes.
Yep.
Man, that was like the best 22 minutes of sex ever, man. I think I gotta have a cigarette.
That
Yes.
that match,
definitely.
like I said, unless you were a cynic, that match just took you into another realm.
The RKO Roman took. I mean, Jesus.
Right?
He took it from the Superman punch.
Yes. Oh,
lost
I
my
loved it.
shit. I was like, whoa.
You did. You did.
I didn't see that coming.
Oh man.
Oh, man, that was
I don't-
wild, dude.
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Oh, that was so, dude. It was so good. And
Yeah.
what it also does is it also reminds people, oh yeah, Randy's still a main eventer. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Drew's probably the top babyface.
In
the
case
company.
you forgot,
Right.
Randy Orton can still do this.
Oh shit, Riddle at some point is gonna get pushed as a main eventer because he's so damn good.
Yeah.
Oh damn, that's right. I know we talk. People love to talk about FTR and the Bucks and
Usos
and the
exist.
Briscoes, but damn, that's right. The Usos do exist.
Mhm.
These dudes have been at the top of their game the last 3 years. This is phenomenal stuff.
They're sitting at 300 days as.
Just sort of 250.
Yeah, something like they're getting close to a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Oh, I thought it said something about 300.
Not yet.
300 days.
Not yet.
I'll have to
Not
look
yet.
at the promo again. Maybe they did, but yeah, it's so good, man. What a perfect way to end the pay-per-view.
And that's the thing, Jesse. WWE showed they can still Jedi mind trick you to forget the fact that the world title doesn't always need to be on the line.
Right.
It should for the big nights.
Right.
But these in-betweens, sometimes the champ just has to be there.
Right.
Which is so hard to get people to understand these days. Because sadly, the AEW World Title is defended so little, they had to invent the Clash of the Belts or the Battle of the Belts just to sort of give people like, oh, it's being defended. Just stay consistent on it.
Right.
If you're not gonna defend it, then save it for the big matches. But they have like what, 6 pay-per-views in AEW?
They have 6 while WWE has like 13, 14 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, the fact that maybe it's only defended at like 5 of the bigger shows, I've always said I never had a problem with that. Just like I never had a problem with like.
Well, that's how the territory days used to work. Is that you'd have a special big show in a Coliseum type atmosphere on like a Friday night, but the big Clash of Champions style thing wasn't until 2 months from now.
Right.
But you still saw the world champ, but he
Right.
wasn't defending it because he had the Clash coming up.
Right.
So this is sadly Vince actually gets what the old territories did. He's just making sure he doesn't get thrown off of TV or he alienates the fan base. Is basically what he's doing.
Well, he also understands how to keep casual fans, but
Yeah.
I just it's one of those things where, like I said, man, when I rethought about the whole pay-per-view, I was just like, the Bobby Almost stuff was probably the weakest.
But it still wasn't awful.
And it wasn't bad. And I know people were like, well, there was no women's title match, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. It didn't need to be here. It didn't. There was, besides the SmackDown Women's Championship, which we figured we were getting out to the finish at WrestleMania.
Which was mostly, again, to send Charlotte home.
Right. You should have known the Raw Women's Championship wasn't going to get defended.
No.
Because you were just like, outside of Becky, who's the contender? You got to build the contenders now.
Yeah.
And you want to keep Becky away from the title for a small portion, which they brought my baby back to do that. So
it was a solid show.
Yeah, this is great.
It was an
man.
absolutely solid show. And by the way, Jesse, you got your baby back, as Leroy would say, I got my baby back.
Mm-hmm.
On Raw. I also want to point out, and I'm not saying this while I love that Little Miss Bliss is back. First of all, stop listening to Dirt Sheets that she was unhappy. She was on the goddamn honeymoon, and she was planning the wedding.
Listen. I didn't care. I hated that she was gone.
Exactly. But here's the deal. Sonya Deville, in my opinion, sold just fine because here's the deal. She wasn't supposed to be afraid of Alexa. She was supposed to be going through the mental mindfuck of, I just got fired.
Right.
So to give Sonya, like a lot of people on the internet are, shit for not making Bliss's return bigger, that was the fans' job.
Right.
She already had a role, and she played it phenomenally.
Right.
Yeah, she did.
So stop. So this isn't even about Alexa Bliss. Stop giving Sonya Deville shit for doing what technically she was supposed to do.
Right.
So that's kind
And
of
Alexa Bliss squashed her like she was supposed to do.
because Sonya was not in her right mind,
Right.
folks. They actually do something to a T right, and you're angry about it.
But
Of
my
course.
question coming out of that, to be honest, was what form of Alexa Bliss character are we getting?
Well, and that's and that's the mystery that still exists. Is okay. In my opinion, this was
She had the doll,
she did. She had Lily.
but she didn't have the full demon makeup.
No.
But she still had a quote-unquote twisted entrance.
Allison actually knows it's a combination of her original and the Fiend one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jesse, remember, this is not long-term storytelling, but this is the idea that you have to let what you saw in the because here's the deal: they're actually being consistent with what she's is now compared to what the vignettes ended with. If she had just come out as regular Alexa, then the vignettes were meaningless.
Right.
So there's consistency there. I'm with you. It's kind of sketchy,
Right.
but the consistency's there.
But it was great to see her.
Oh yeah, no, it was fantastic, and I can't wait for her to still be on Raw and have the internet once again be like, why do you listen to the Dirt Sheets? They've been wrong so much recently.
Plus,
it's actually
it was
getting annoying.
absolutely fucking hilarious to watch Sonya Deville meltdown.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh, yes, that was
it was
really
so good.
She like it. She
And
completely
Corey
forgot she
Graves,
had a
give him
match.
credit. He really sold it on Mike.
Oh, yes.
That-
She lost a job. And like Byron said, wait, didn't she slap your wife? things happen.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. Anyway, thank you all for this so much. Jesse, do you have a schedule you'd like to post up there?
So to let you guys know, this, I think, we're going to keep doing as a regular thing.
Okay.
So tune in Sundays. The time will never be correct. But what it will do is allow us to, so like, say if it says 4 p.m., just know most of the time we try to do this 1 p.m. Central.
Outside of football season.
Right. If football season will be about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. But
There'll be a week when either Leroy and I will be happy or Jesse will be happy because there is a 12 a.m. match there is a 12 p.m. match.
I actually
Jets
might
Vikings.
miss that show because I'm planning on going to that game.
Okay, that's fair.
But otherwise, yes. These should be normal, and the new schedule is out. I apologize about last week. I did tweet out and shared it within our Twitter.
Yep.
There was just some personal life things I had to take care of, but my schedule this week is more free up.
Okay, perfect.
And we'll improve on the video because I get to pick up some more equipment
Yep.
that'll help.
And I
With
mean, the
that,
sound in
between
this
the
one
two of
seems
us.
to be coming through pretty good.
Yep.
So
Shirts are still available. Leroy, do you have anything else besides our merch that you want to toss in there?
That's it. Hopefully, we're still trying to work on getting sponsors. So
Yep.
hopefully, in the next few weeks, sponsors actually make money
Yeah, right.
a little bit for fun.
Anyway, we'd like to thank you guys all. Like we said, there was a lot of stuff going on. Next week, Jesse will be bringing you an update on the New Japan situation, only because even Jesse needs to wade through the amount of tweets that are going on there. So we will definitely hold that off till next week because more stuff will come out about
tune
that this
in
week.
Monday where I will actually be talking about, because
Yep.
people have been asking, myself and Thomas Bug and some other really
For those of
hardcore New
you
Japan
who
fans.
follow us here mostly only, Jesse will also give a recap next Sunday on the show.
Yes.
But we appreciate you guys for listening, and we will see you guys very soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.